Hello friends, this is your friend back with a new fanfic. What if Naruto became the chosen king of desire? Kushina's secret that changed the Shinobi world Part 3, final part. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's start. Chapter 3. Where we left off. Roz, you and I need to talk, Blaze said to Roz, who just walked out of the shadows. He seemed to be a man in his mid-50s wearing a suit. He said, "What brings you by, Phoenix?" Blaze says, "A marriage contract." "Really? You do know I protect this family from threats worse than you." Roz looks at Blaze as he walks over to the side and pours a drink. Yes, the Uzumaki family, how they gained such strong influence over the world due sheer willpower of the company's founder and CEO, Kushina Uzumaki. An idea come to me as I know of the woman's medical problems, and the boy's activities but does keep up with his studies. I thought, what if I had someone of my organization to join and slowly take over, the rest I'm sure you can easily view. Roz is then pinned to the wall and Blaze says, then you will have some of the most powerful goddesses on you don't want that. Trust me, I have seen a man like you who used the pit piss off these goddesses. Do you know what they did to that fool? Roz just looks at Blaze as if he had asked for the weather, what of it? Blaze then points behind him and there stood a woman. He doesn't look as he says, besides, I had sent my daughter to speak with the boy's mother as we speak, so you coming here was a waste. Blaze starts to laugh hearing that and says, oh you fool you screwed up. Blaze keeps laughing as he moves away from Roz as he just fixes himself, perhaps, as he takes a sip. Meanwhile Kushina is reading through the marriage contract that she was handed by this beautiful woman with long dark brown hair and green which Kushina doesn't see often. I see, said Kushina. The woman who has a curvy figure, and large of J-cup as her figure is well fit due to her many years of training. Kushina then pulls out a special lighter and sets the contract on fire with black flames. Yeah, I have a better offer missy, if you think this contact, or whatever you call it could not meet up my standards. The woman is shocked as she knows that is a flame that can't be put out usually as it destroys the contract and Kushina says, I was warned that you would try this bullshit. The woman, my father was right as you are well informed and I was foolish even to try. Kushina says, well I will give you an A for effort cause not many would have the guts to walk in marriage contact and all. Kushina then says, but it seems my son has caught the attention of many powerful goddesses. One would be that many fear the Izanami ruler of Yomi. So you try to control the company, forget it. The woman, that's my father's goal, not mine, I'm mainly a tool for his means. Kushina looks at her, she then shakes her head, you are no tool. Your father's time is limited as I know one day that pit of his will not help him. The woman, I know, even he knows it since every time he uses it, he feels less of himself and one day, he will go to the pit and will not work for him anymore. Kushina looks at her, then follow the path you want, Talia al Ghul. You will not be able to do anything for your father, but know that your father dies. Then Blaze comes down on the group hard, and it will be a slaughter fest. Roz is the only one keeping Blaze at bay. Talia says, I don't know any other path, I was raised and lived to be a killer. Kushina sighs as she thinks on it, yes the same with Naruto's head wife Parin and same with Unohana. Parin almost went into the industry but Naruto got her out before she did and she enjoys her life now. Kushina is going to regret it, why don't you meet Naruto? Talia says, but I thought, I know what I said but, my son may able to help you more than I can, said Kushina, as she thinking, Blaze is going to have my head, more if she become Naruto's, not to mention Unohana as she was once known as Yakiro. Couple hours later. Naruto is looking at his mother with Unohana who is curious why Kushina is trying not to look scared or nervous as there is an unknown woman with her as Naruto says, please don't tell me you have another girlfriend, mom. Does Olivia even know? Naruto crosses his arms. Unohana says, no Naruto this is Talia al Ghul daughter of Roz al Ghul. Naruto blinks as it takes him a few seconds, due to the fact, he forgets about it, then widens his eyes as it hits him. Naruto then looks at Kushina, and his eyes change colors. Behind him, the Kyuubi growls, and Talia is shocked at seeing this. She says, so this is where the mythic beast is, it just never left the Uzumakis, as she looks at the fox curiously. Kushina says, wait, you know about Kurama. It's one of the many things I was taught. I just believe the fox and his siblings had left this world the moment the chakra was almost all but vanished. Then Talia looks again and to her shock the others appear as well. Kushina is now hiding under her desk and Kushina says, T there are legends of T the C clan T that only C certain members C can S summon T them, the last person who was my great-great-great-great-grandmother. Naruto then opens his mouth, and they roar and Talia just takes it. Interesting, she says, Kurama, you're not scared. 'Cause that would scare the shit out of many intruders when Naruto sleeps. Hell, there was that one time when that riser guy came by and Naruto takes back control. Wait, what did you do? Is that why we stopped receiving his letters so he could beg Rias to come back to him? Then Kurama. Indeed Kit, we killed him because I ate his soul. Worst mistake ever, said Kurama as Naruto said, is that why you were quiet for a year? Had history's worst case of stomachache and heartburn, said Kurama. Then don't eat idiots' souls. Said Naruto, I can't make promises, said Kurama. Everyone is watching this argument. It's like Naruto is having a talk with himself, but the difference is that the eyes change to show which one is talking. Kushina sighs as she says, can we get back on topic? Naruto then looks back at Kushina, Mom, you're insane. Later at castle, Perrin is looking at Talia as she says, Naruto, darling, who is this? Naruto says, this is Talia al Ghul, and she is here well. She can tell you. He has his hand over to Talia as she says, I'm his apprentice. Perrin stares at her then to Naruto as she asks, is she serious? Dead serious, said Naruto as he looks to the side as if saying, it wasn't my idea. Perrin asks, apprentice for what? As she is curious. On the path of life, said Talia. Naruto says, yeah that. Perrin giggles, oh my, like you saved me. Good also Naruto. I need your approval for a few things. She has the folder of the pool party plans. Oh right, the pool party. Said Naruto as he forgot about it because of the whole thing with Talia. Talia blinks, huh. And Naruto explains, every year we have a pool party a couple weeks after the cherry blossom viewing party, and given I just finished with my exams, so more reason to it. Talia nods as she gets it in a way. Perrin hands him the file as he says, alright, I will get this done. Perrin nods, also will you be ranking up a few girls? Not this time, that's for the summer, said Naruto. Perrin says, okay, cause I would like to throw 2 names into the ring for ranking up. Then she and Naruto along with Talia turn into chibis as Naruto lightly taps the file on her head. No, said Chibi Naruto. Perrin whines, but darling. As she has her hands on her head Naruto says, no darling me, Perrin, I already have a list of ideas as well who are going up in ranking and there's already quite a lot. But darling how many are you planning to rank up? Asked a teary-eyed Chibi Perrin and Naruto said, to each but not sure about platinum yet, as he lightly taps Perrin's head again. Why you're so mean, said Perrin and then Chibi Naruto kisses her cheek as he says, go rest, I will handle it. Perrin pouts, you are still mean darling. Later at Naruto's studies, Naruto sighs as he looks over the plan, the food, the music, drinks, and other things. He then gets a report from the radio. Boss, Naruto picks up. Yeah. We have 2 people here asking about the castle. Said the guard, if they're Girl Scouts, tell them we're not buying any more cookies until someone admits to eating my double chocolate chip cookies and my peanut butter chocolate cookies. No, they are trying to buy the castle, said one of the guards. Naruto stopped as he answered back, I beg your pardon. Yes, they want to buy the castle. Said the head guard, who was female. Okay, so I didn't imagine it very well. I will be at the gate shortly. Naruto gets up with Shiranui with him and she expects him to ask her to come along but, Shiranui, stay here and keep an eye on her. He looks at Talia, who is just writing. Shiranui nods. I understand. Later at the gate, why ain't you 2 even listening or facing me? Said a gross-looking scrawny man, a woman with pink hair scowls as this is Hina, head of the guards of the castle walls. As she rubbed the bridge of her nose as she thought, Hina is so close to killing him. As the woman with the name who has a long pointy nose, Starry I want that castle. Along with all the beautiful women. The woman gets very angry and jealous as she hates it when her husband gets like this. As one of the guards, they're acting like it's done deal. Hina says, Hina thinks they are idiots and dead ones at Lord Naruto. She sees Naruto and he looks pissed. Naruto walks out and the guards all salute him as he says, "Alright, who got the balls to demand to buy my home?" Starry then gets the arrogant look of, "Me, you plebeian, now get out of my new home. I have ladies to pleasure." He stops as Naruto drops his pants, which the women around blushes as they're looking at Naruto's manhood. More so Starry's wife, as Starry felt his world breaks. Naruto then pulls up his pants again and says, "Dude, they will kill you, and my house is not for sale, and never will, and my women will never go after a man like you and likely Peanut." Starry then starts to steam, and Naruto says, "Leave or else." "Get him," shouts Starry as his guards are looking around as the guards are heavily armed, so they're just hold up their arms and turns around as they're all said, "Fuck this shit, we out." Hina then kicks Starry and Thea. Sari is hoping to get Naruto to take her as he says, "You, take him and leave here." Naruto then walks back into the gates, and they close as Sari says, "Why?" Hina says, "Lord Naruto says to take him and go," as she glares at her hatefully. Sari pouts and then says, "Grab Starry, we are leaving." A bit later, Naruto is doing more planning as he says, "Bubbles or confetti?" Then Asuka runs in giggling, "Bubbles." Then she stops as she spots Taylor, and her eyes say, "Oh, Papa Naruto. Who's pretty lady?" She points at Taylor. "Asuka, please don't, she is not to be trusted yet," said Naruto, but he noticed that she's not the spot anymore. She's on Taylor's lap, and she asks, "What are you doing?" Talia blinks in confusion at the child's innocence she has. Naruto sighs, "Asuka, please come here." Asuka says, "Why?" "I need some help," said Naruto. Asuka nods, "Bye pretty lady." She appeared in Naruto's lap as she smiled at Naruto. Naruto thought, "Oh, the innocence of a child." Asuka looks at the plans in surprise, as there are so many words. So many words, Naruto chuckles. Then Bisca comes in and sees Asuka looking dizzy. "There you are, Asuka," said Bisca. She walked over and picked Asuka up but noticed Taylor sitting. Bisca narrows her eyes as she does not trust Talia. Naruto sees them leave as Taylor says, "They seem nice," as she writes down still. "Naruto, if you count being judged nice." Naruto keeps going with the plans. Later in the week, Naruto walks around and sees that they are being delivered for the party as Naruto thinks, "Good." Then he sees a notice on the notice board and says, "Oh, some new girls will join us, what good timing, but I won't able to give their ranking until the day after the party." Naruto then heads to the pool area as it is getting cleaned up, and getting it ready for the party. Then he hears something, some perverted midget got into the vent system. Naruto walks out of the pool room, and he pushes a few buttons on the touchpad and soon enough, the vents, all of them closed up. Naruto nods as he pushes the next one and its heat button. Naruto then has all cameras focus on all of the vent intakes and outtakes as he sees a hand reaching out of a vent screaming as he's sweating so bad as it's getting hotter by the second. It's good thing the camera has the option to mute the sounds. Found him, head to vent number 4532. All guards head there now. Order Naruto as he informs them all through the radio. 3 squads of guards are moving to the location, each being led by 3 women. One is Asuka, the next is Doll, and the last is Marin, all from One Piece. "Got it, boss man," said Doll through the radio. The guards all have weapons at the ready, loaded with darts. They all hear, "I'm going to open it, in 5, 4, said Naruto through the radio as he counted down. They reach there and get their weapons ready. 3.2. Naruto opens the vents. 1. The idiot comes tumbling out, and all weapons are pointed at him. They all blast him as he screams, covered in darts. Then he passes out. "Let's launch him over the wall," suggests a soldier. "No. Call the police, he broke in, thus he will be charged for this," said Naruto, and Doll said, "Well, we are also within our rights to kill him. Yeah, but I don't want the blood on the floor and it will be a nightmare to remove it, and do an exorcism." All of them nod to that as it's true. A bit later, the police push the person into the back of a van and then drive away. Naruto says, "Now back to getting things ready." They head back inside and Naruto keeps getting things ready. The next day, Naruto is walking with Sephi as they are talking and she says, "Oh my, it seems only yesterday when I first arrived here," and Naruto smiles remembering it. Flashback. 2 years ago. The guards are looking at a caravan of military vehicles approaching the gate as one of them asks, "Are military vehicles a bit too much?" Naruto approaches, not for the woman they are bringing. They say she is so beautiful that men will fight each other just to have her attention. One of the guards, "Wait, is it who I think it is?" Naruto nods, "Yup, the one who that my mother fought so hard to agree to come here." "So Lord Blaze has his troops bringing her?" asked Hina. "That and a couple of others," he points up as its helicopters. "We will also get a bus tomorrow a day before the pool party." The guards nod in understanding. Then the middle vehicle pulls up. Soldiers come out of them all and stand shoulder to shoulder. One helps the woman step down, wearing a veil to cover her face. The troops are also reading special shades for protection. Naruto looks at her and says, "Okay, I understand the veil." Then he points at the shades, "But them?" Naruto asks, as Blaze comes up and says, "You will see, Naruto promise." As the woman in question turns to Naruto as she says, Hello, we've finally met Mr. Naruto. Please just Naruto. May I please see your face, Sephi?" Naruto asks as Blaze, "Men, ready yourself." He also puts on a pair of glasses. Naruto waits as Selfie is waiting anxious. Shen slowly takes off her veil, and Naruto sees as he blush. As he sees a gorgeous woman, Naruto says, "Damn, I can see why you cover your face, please come in." Sephi says, "Wait, you're not going crazy, then that means." Naruto says, "We will continue inside." As Selfie nods while blushing as she wraps her arms onto Naruto's arm. Naruto chuckles as they enter the gate. Later at the kitchen, Naruto and Selfie are having tea while talking, "So that is why mom had difficulty getting to you as you were hiding." Sephi says, "Yes, cause I'm so scared to be out in public, more so in a big city and town with someone seeing my face." Naruto nods. "You are safe here, and I am the only man allowed in here." Sephi smiles at that. Naruto then asks, "Do you have everything?" Sephi, "Yes, my clothes and things of my hometown, and that's about it." "I have to ask how bad it was?" asked Naruto. Sephi, "It was so bad, there would be fights break out and it will." She couldn't go any further. Naruto says, "Oh boy, he won't push any further as he sees how uncomfort Sephi is." Naruto nods, "Would you like me to explain how things work here?" Sephi nods, "Yes please, cause I don't want to cause unnecessary trouble." Naruto then explains the rules of the castle and what they can and cannot do. "You don't allow fighting unless it's in the ring." Sephi asks, "Yup, also you will not advance in rank that way." Selfie said, "I feel like there's a reason why it's there." Naruto says, "And you will be right, the reason for it happened is we call it the B accident, as it was a while back." "B accident?" asked Sephi. "Yeah, it's something I wasn't aware of at the time as it was between B, who wasn't ranked at the time, but is silver now, and Hana who was a silver rank at the time, so B who got a misunderstanding and well. She challenged Hana." asked Sephi and Naruto nods. "Yes, and let's just say Hana just stared her down, not even needing to attack back, which is good cause while she's great at healing but she wasn't always a heal." "Oh, you're talking about little old me." They turn to see Hana standing there with a smile as she has gold tag on her and notices Sephi. Hana says, "Oh, you must be Hana, this is Sephi," said Naruto. Hana says, "Hello, Selfie." As she smiles, Hana asks, "Which rank, Naruto?" And Naruto said, "Well, I think we will need to talk about that as with what she went through herself." Sephi is looking at Hana as she asks, If you don't mind me asking, what did you do before here?" Hana says, "I was a warrior with no equal until I met Lady Kushina, who beat me in a fight." As she smiles, "Yup, since mom can bend a steel beam," said Naruto, and Hana asks, "So why do we need to talk about her rank?" "Well, she can be either gold or maybe higher," said Naruto. Hana looks at him and asked, "Okay, I will call the gold girls along with Lady Parent." Naruto nods. Time skip. They are in a meeting room with Naruto at the head. "So, Sephi, please tell them what you had to hide." Selfie nods as she explains herself to the others. Then afterwards, the members ask her to hang on. Then Naruto says, "So silver, does everyone agree she can raise through the ranks?" All 17 of the council at the time agreed. Parent said, "Indeed, my darling, she can rise through the ranks." Naruto pulls out a collar with a silver tag and goes over to Sephi. "Well, With that, welcome, Sephi. Sephi smiles as she lets Naruto put it on her neck. Naruto then explains what the tags are for. A symbol of their rank, a tracker, something connected to a bank account, everyone has their own account, and a monthly allowance. It refills at the beginning of the month. Flashback over. Naruto kisses Sephi on the cheek then says, "We have a party to get ready for," and Sephi nods. Later, on the day of the pool party, the group of new girls is surprised at what the group is doing, as they are the first, a mother-daughter pair. Saya Takagi has pink hair with long twintails, with glasses as she has orange with killer figure with large thick legs as she gives off an air of smarts. She is talking with her mother Yuriko Takagi, but she doesn't have pink hair but rather purple and has more thicker figure. They are here because they lost the father, husband, and some rich man wanted to control them and make them into slaves. "Mama, why you sure we can't go back?" said Saya. Yuriko says, "I am sure, sweetie. But you have to admit it is wonderful here." Saya looks around and it does indeed, and she even sees Perrin who is talking to another newcomer. Meimei, Joka and Lihua are all pregnant. "It's about time you arrived here," said Perrin, as the person has light orange hair and yellow eyes. "This is Miku Yuki. I am happy to be here, Lady Perrin, and sorry it take me a while to arrive, there's some things I had to take care of." Perrin asks, "Oh, what was that?" Miku says, "Well, putting my home to sale, saying bye to my friends, and of course, making sure to make amends." "What about your pathetic ex?" asked Lihua. Miku, "Kick him right on the balls." Perrin and others giggled at that. She rubs her belly which is starting to get rounder along with the other three. Miku asked, "May I?" Perrin says, "Well, it's a bit early, but go for it." Miku gently rubs Perrin's belly and smiles. "Are you excited to be a mother?" Perrin says, "Well, I'm very nervous." Miku looks at her and Perrin says, "This is my first child, dear." Miku says, "Well, at least you're not alone, you have so many helping you out." Then Bisca says, "Plus you have a mother with you to help out. Trust me, no one is ever ready for their first child. But I am here for you." Perrin smiles at that. Then Miku asks, "Sue, I've been meaning to ask, why is everyone else wearing bikinis?" "'Cause there is a child around," said Perrin, and Miku nods as she is also wearing a swimwear with a tube. "Oh," said Miku, "Asuka is playing with Miragen. There are 3 new ones. One of them is a blonde-haired woman with blue eyes, a mark under her lip, and a killer figure. This is Samus Aran. She is talking with one of the senior members as they hand her either a swimsuit or a bikini. So tell me, Samui, do you enjoy living here?" Samui looks at Samus as it turns out, both are cousins. "Well, cousin, I have no problem with it." Samus nods. "Thought I'm surprised you quit your job." Samus says, "Well, the thing is my last hunt kind of went south." She taps onto her tag, showing her target was a crime boss, and says, "Hell, it got so bad I needed to call for backup." "I see," says Samui. Samus nods. "Yeah, this crime boss, oh, he was tough, but then I retired and joined Naruto." Samui giggles. "Oh, you, I swear when he came for me you looked so heartbroken as you had a contract as a bounty hunter." Samus says, "Don't remind me." Samui pokes Samus's nose. "But I have always enjoyed living here as he is so kind," said Samui. On to the next new girl. Is a purple-haired girl talking to Yunohana, as her name is Seiko Busujima and she's pretty tall. As she says, "Is there anything else, Lady Yunohana?" As another looks at Yunohana as well. "This is Raiko. Yes, could you make sure no one would dare disturb the party? Naruto and others work so hard to set it up." Raiko is a maid and she is hoping Naruto will make her his, as Seiko is with her aunt Raiko. "Happy to help, as you wish, Lady Yunohana." Sometime later, at the pool area, an orange-haired girl is with 3 other newcomers talking. Then the doors opens and in walks a woman. Not many know who she is as she is walking up to Naruto and covers his eyes as she whispers to his ear, "Guess who?" Naruto then turns and grabs her and hugs her and kisses her on the spot. She moans and he hugs her close. This is his godmother Stussy. Upon after the kisses, Stussy says, "Wow, what a welcome." "Welcome home," said Naruto as he smirks. Then he gives her a glare. "But don't think I'm going to let you go now." Stussy giggles and says, "Darling, I am retired. I can do my spy network from anywhere I want. With the servers here, oh, no one will be able to find me." Then they hear, "Papa Naruto, who is the pretty blonde lady?" Stussy turns and gasps, then picks her up. "Oh my goodness, look how adorable you are, sweetie." What is your name? I'm Asuka, said the child. Stussy giggled. You are adorable. My name is Stussy, and I have known Naruto for a long time. Asuka asks, so are you his mama? Oh, I am his godmother. If something happened to Kushina then I would have taken him in. Asuka, oh. Naruto smiles. Stussy then tickles Asuka, making her giggle. Meanwhile in other parts of the pool area, they are looking at Stussy as she seems to be closer to Naruto more than they think she should be, but Perrin is not worried at all. In fact, Perrin says, for there who are no idea, that's Stussy, the mysterious godmother of Naruto, whom the one who taught Naruto how to make love to a woman in bed. The others are shocked as it was Stussy who took his first time and taught him how to pleasure a woman. I heard stories, said one. Stussy stays seated on Naruto's lap. He then whispers into her ear and she smiles. But soon enough they went on having fun, but Naruto says, Vados. Yes, DBZ super, and a blue-skinned maid appears, as she's very beautiful as she says, yes Lord Naruto. Please go and fetch me the special items that are on my desk in my study, said Naruto. Vados says, at once, my lord, as she vanishes in high speed. Stussy, I see that she hasn't changed much, or grown older. Naruto shrugs as he says, beats me, I just didn't notice. 5 minutes later, Vados has returned with the items and Stussy smiles and accepts the collar and puts it on with the tag being ruby and gold with the number 0 on it. Oh, my collar and tag. The others are shocked. Then the box and Naruto opens it and she says, oh, my ring. She puts it on. It is a combination of tricolored emerald, ruby and diamond. With 3 gems, the right one is a sapphire, the left is an emerald, and the middle is a diamond. Oh, this is beautiful, said Stussy. She put it on and then kissed Naruto on the lips but took it off. But not yet, still, Naruto said. I kind of figure. I'm guessing you want to wait because you just arrived here. Indeed, because it would be so unfair for everyone here. Naruto nods. I understand, but you will be holding onto it. You will put it on when you are ready. Stussy taps his nose. No, I will take it when you ask for my hand, so I won't keep it. It will just be weird, Naruto says. Oh, makes sense. Vados takes the ring back to the study. Naruto says, I guess there's things I still. Stussy says, no, you just didn't think it though, that's all. Now then, I should let myself acquainted with everyone else. I can't just stay by yourself all the time. Naruto says, let me finish, silly. I have a few things to do before I ask for your hand. But I want to see you later in private. Stussy, oh, there's time for that, no rushing it, Naruto. She gives him a wink as she walks. Besides, I'm not going anywhere. Naruto shrugs as he thinks, she has a point there. Naruto then watches her and thinks, I hate to see her go but love to watch her leave. Couple hours later, everyone is having a great time as some are just talking, playing games, dancing, swimming or just relaxing. Naruto then senses something and he leaves and heads to his bedroom as he is confused. Naruto thinks to himself, what could that be? Naruto opens the door and standing there is a woman in a long red dress with candles at the end with a large sombrero with candles on that as well, as she says, Buena después, good afternoon. Naruto blinks, goddess. If I remember correctly, you would be Lemuert. As he points her and the woman says, ACS, guapo, that's right, handsome. Naruto asks, alright, I hate to say this, and I really do, but right now is not a good time since there's a party right now and I would ask you to come back another day, maybe. Then Lemuert says, that is why I am here. You see, I am here to tell you I will be visiting you 3 days from now. That is when I am free to be yours. She then walks over and kisses his forehead and whispers, I am excited for that day that we will be one, but today is not that day. I'm just here to drop this off as a favor to one who likes you the most. Naruto looks at her and says, really? If I have to guess, Kami. Nope, wrong, it's Aphrodite, said Lemuert. Naruto is surprised, why does she favor me the most? And Lemuert says, well, it is actually there's 3 more who also favor you the most, but she just wants to win some. And what do you humans call it? Brownie points. Naruto blinks, and then Lemuert waves him to come closer. He does so, and she hands him a bottle. Naruto looks at it, as if it's something he has never seen before. Trust me, this is for something special, said Lemuert as she smiled. Naruto said as he looked at it, thanks. I will save it for a special occasion. Then he looked back at Lemurt, only to find that she's gone. Naruto then puts this in the place where they keep their booze. Back at the pool party, they see Naruto return and Perrin asks, "Is everything okay, darling?" Naruto says, "Yeah, just got a gift." Stussy asks, "What is it, and from whom?" As she curious, "Well, I don't know if you would believe me, but a goddess, an actual one, appeared in my office and give it to me as well a date." Stussy is looking in Naruto's eyes as he would never lie to her, yet at the same time, "It's kinda hard to believe it though." I see, said Stussy, but she saw it in his eyes, he was telling the truth. "I get it. It's hard to believe. Hell, even I found it hard. We will talk about it later. There's a party going on. Let's have fun," said Naruto, and Stussy nodded. "That is true, it is party time." Time skip. After a day of partying, it's time, and things are beginning to slow down. Naruto walks out of the pool room as he has a plan for someone. He calls her out, "Oh, Stussy." Stussy smiles as she stops, then turns to Naruto, "Oh my, you are in the mood to have your godmother." She puts her arms under her. Naruto walks up and whispers, "It has been a long time, so yes, tonight you are with me," with Stussy smiles on that. Later, Naruto's room. Naruto is making out with Stussy while playing with her wick. Naruto realizes are a lot bigger than they were before as he says, "Oh my Stussy, you're got bigger and they even feel softer." Stussy says, "Why yes. I take special herbs tea that allows me to grown see certain parts bigger without the need of drugs or surgery." Naruto smiles and then asks, "So how big are they now?" As he also plays with her nipples, they are J cup and now. Naruto says, "There was G last I remember, so you did it for me." "Darling, I would do anything for you. All you have to do is ask me," said Stussy. Naruto kisses her deeply. Stussy moans as she is happy to be back with her darling, Naruto. Few minutes later, Stussy is licking Andy's cock as she says, "Oh, it's so much bigger than I remember." Naruto groans and is enjoying this as Stussy takes his cock into her mouth as he says, "Fuck, I think your skills have gotten a lot better. Then again with your job, you had to do a lot of seduction missions, huh?" Stussy says, "Yes, but they always ended after a blow job, but my remains yours." Naruto says, "I think personally, you would kill them with your alone, given how insanely tight it is." Stussy giggles, like you not allowing Perrin to leave the castle. "Very much," he smiles. Stussy is right, if Perrin left the castle so many men will die as she is a very dangerous woman in bed. When her lust comes out, men or women, it does not matter to her. Only one man ever conquered her, and that is her husband Naruto Uzumaki, as he's the only one that matches her in bed, maybe more. After they married, Naruto forbade her from leaving the castle and she understood why he did it. But she can leave with him. Naruto says, "Though I'm not sure if I'm going to put you in such restrict like Perrin." Stussy says, "Well, I was not only with men as well, I have seduced some women, beautiful and powerful women, I could introduce them to you." Naruto smirks and says, "Maybe, but right now I want you." He grabs her head and shoves his cock back in her mouth. Stussy moans, happy to be back with her Naruto. An hour later, there's now screaming and moaning as Naruto is just ramming deeply in Stussy. Naruto says, "Yes, take it. Take your godson's cock you love so much." Stussy screams loudly as she shouts, "Yes, I will. Oh, yeez, how I miss this cock. I have dreamed of being back here with you, my darling," as Naruto thrusts more in her. Naruto whispers in her ear, "I have plans for you, but right now, I want you to be by my side like Perrin." As he thrusts more in her with Stussy screaming more, Naruto keeps her and says, "Go ahead, you have more to say, then say it." Stussy shouts, I can't answer. My brain I is mush and only thinking about why you and your cock." Naruto keeps her as he smirks as he thinks, "Still got it." Naruto kisses her on the lips. Couple hours later, Naruto is Stussy in a full Nelson as he says while thrusting deeper in her, "That's it, my Stussy, take my cock and become my full-time lover." Stussy screams louder as she shouts, "Yes, I am your lover. Keep me. I belong to you. If men come looking for me, go ahead and kill them." Stussy screams louder. Naruto thrusts more in her and Naruto says, without a thought. Stussy says, "I belong to you." The collar and tag prove that. Her eyes roll upward, and Naruto keeps them up. Naruto then bites and licks her neck. Later into the night, Naruto has his cock at Heron. Stussy is panting as she says, "P please L like M Maya also M misses your cock." Naruto then thrusts his cock into her making her scream, "Yes!" Shouts Stussy with her very happy as Naruto knows that she loves to have his cock more than anything. He thrusts faster and harder with her screams louder than before. Naruto then looks at Heron, sees something new on it as he says, "What's this?" It is the Uzumaki swirl on Heron. She asks, "You like it, my darling?" Naruto doesn't say as he just smacks her. Stussy screams, "D darling, P please A ants." Naruto stops her from finishing as he slaps her again. Stussy is worried about this as she says, "Wyrun no." She screams again, Naruto does it again, but he grabs onto Heron. He finally says, "I love it my dear Stussy, so you wanted something to mark you or mine besides the collar. I love it." As he smacks her again. Stussy says, "I am glad you love it as I wanted one so much. Even if I did not have the collar I needed a reminder of who has my heart and body as his." Naruto smiles at that as he resumes thrusting deeply in her. Stussy screams happily as her stud of a godson Ishare as Naruto keeps her more and more. Couple hours later, Naruto is Stussy against the window as Naruto knows that Stussy has lost her mind as she wants to as she shouts, "Yes me more. I am where I truly belong once again." Naruto thrusts more in her, as he says, "That's right, you are home fully now." As he thrusts more and more. Time skip, morning. Naruto wakes up and sees Stussy's head on his chest happily snuggling up to him. Naruto smiles as he hears knock on the door, enter. In comes. Naruto sees a maid, more so, a maid. This is one of 4 maids who are part of a special group of maids. They are the personal maids of Lord and Lady Uzumaki, as she is Mawako Shirasaki. She has long purple hair with light blue eyes and a figure that likely has turned many heads. Her rare double J cups, and she says, "Good morning, Lord Uzumaki," as she bows to him. "Good morning, Mawako." As he gets up, Stussy lets out a little whine as she says, "No, get back in bed." As she sleeps still, Naruto then kisses her forehead, and she smiles. A few minutes later at the kitchen, Naruto is dressed and is eating breakfast. Then Perrin asks, "So you enjoy your night?" As she smiles, Naruto says, "Oh big time," as he takes another bite. Perrin giggles. Then Stussy walks in with a glow around her wearing a robe. That's when they hear, "Hello everyone." The maids pull out some dangerous weapons and point at the person who said that, as it's Kushina whose sweat drops as she sees them as it's a welcome she wasn't expecting. Naruto says, "Mom, the maids would not do this if you called ahead and let us know and not just barging into my home." "Sorry," said Kushina. "I didn't have my phone charged as I was busy." She looked to the side with a blush on her. Naruto caught the blush and noticed the same kind of glow that Stussy had. Naruto then asked, "Where is Olivia?" And Robin stopped in confusion. "My mother." Robin asks, Kushina blushing badly as she says while sweating nervously, "Oh she is sleeping, I in my bed, and naked." Robin looks at Kushina, as she is slowly piecing it together as if. Then she glares at Naruto, "You didn't tell me." And Naruto says, "It slipped my mind, there were a lot of things happening, of course it slipped my mind." Kushina says, Please don't be mad at him Robin, you should be M." Robin keeps glaring at Naruto and then he walks over and looks her dead in the eye and says, "Robin, you do know I have a museum exhibit I would like to see on my schedule and you are coming with me even if I have to drag you." Robin pouting then drops it as she says, "Fine, and you?" She turns to Kushina. Kushina flinches as she feels that she's in trouble but Robin says, "No you're not in trouble, I just want to say, do you love my mother?" Kushina is surprised to hear that as she says, "Well, I'm not sure as we knew, as I never been with a woman, more so I haven't been with anyone since my ex." Naruto says, "No, you will not bring up that man ever again." Stussy scowls as she sees him and his lover die. "No, you did not bring up his name," said Kushina. "And do not use that tone with me, young man," she gets. Naruto looks at his mother and says, "That man is not worth mentioning ever again. Besides, Mom, you know I can talk how I want about him. You said so yourself that I can." Then Naruto gets his ear pulled as Kushina, "No, I meant toward me." Naruto realizes, sorry. Kushina lets, "Good, You can say shit about him, but I will not have you use that tone toward me, understand? Yes, said Naruto as he rubbed his ear. Good, now then, what was I saying? Asks Kushina, then remembers, oh right, so me and Olivia will take it slow, though we kinda take a bit step with us having fucked. Robin giggles. Naruto then walks away, then he feels something and checks the pad and cameras. Mom, were you alone when you arrived? What do you mean? Kushina asks. She adds, I didn't bring anyone with me, and like I said, Olivia is sleeping. Why do you think? As she looks with curiosity. Naruto shows her a blue-haired woman in his home. She has wings and says, she does not belong here. Everyone looks around and doesn't see this blue-haired woman at all, which confuses Naruto to no end because, now can no one see this unknown woman? Well, he can't see since, it seems in the video, she went into the room they're all in yet. Naruto growls and then he changes his eyes and Kurama is summoned. What is it now? Please don't tell me it's for another argument. Naruto says, someone is here. Who does not belong, deal with it, as it's clear that he's stressed about it, is Kurama, who in chibi form and on Naruto's shoulder. As he looks at Naruto, then move his head up as he sees a blue-hair angel woman who eyeing him with a drool and look of lust on her, as Kurama says, that would explain this bitch I'm looking at. Kurama then jumps while he changes size and tackles the being, and when on the ground Kurama is standing on something that is not there, but he is not even touching the floor at all. While everyone else is wondering what's going on, as Naruto says, I guess the whole myth about canines and felines being able to see things we humans can't see are true, and that he's also a being made up of chakra, Kushina added. Then the angel appears. She growls as she says, get off, you stupid fox. As Kurama bites onto her arm and gets her real good, too. Naruto's sweats drop along with everyone else's as Hana says, should we try to stop this? If you want to stop the nine-tailed fox, be my guest. I am not going to do it. Besides, she does not belong here, says Naruto. Then soon enough, the angel says, I am here for a reason. As she waved her arm like crazy to shake off Kurama, who was holding on. Then why are you here? Asked Parent. The blue-haired angels, I want Naruto in my all-male harem. The women look at her with Naruto thinks, lady, I don't like to share my women to other men. As Kushina says, like that going to happen, I know my son and he's the type not share his women to other men. Naruto says, I love the heavens threesome, not the devil's threesome. The others look at him. Naruto then holds up his hand as he does the horns hand sign, two dudes. Is the devil's threesome. Then Naruto grabs Stussy and Parent. This is heaven's threesome. Two women. Then he hears, but I'm sure you will grow to love it. And the blue-haired angel gets cut off. Fuck you, bitch. As he kicks her hard in the face while Kurama is still biting her, then a bright light appears as all here, enough. As Naruto says, what now? When the light fades, they see a woman with 6 wings, 3 on each side of her, and wears a white shirt with blue ends, a brown belt, and a white long skirt, and white long gloves on her arms. She is also holding a scepter and she is 5 feet 9 inches tall. She's also very busty along with curvy figure, with Herbing J cup. The blue-haired angel is nervous, Kurama still biting onto her. Nanal. What are you doing here? She walks over to the now named Nanal as Nanal cries as she says, here T to observe. The woman glares harder at her. The woman says, you are lying. Nanal cries harder. Naruto says, she said that she wants me to join her all-guy harem, which I'm heavily against. The woman glares, he will not. I along with the goddesses called dibs on him. Nanal turns pale as there is shattering sound in her head as she says, what? The new woman walked over to her. Indeed, he is off limits. Only the goddesses and myself from the high ranking of the celestial realm are allowed to touch him. Nanal drops her head as she says, no fair. Naruto asks, okay, first, who the ever-loving heck are you two? Both look at Naruto as the woman says, this one has no matter to you. She waves her hand and Nanal returned to heaven. I am Seraphim, Queen's Blade, leader of the angels, and you are more handsome in person, Naruto Uzumaki. She smiles. Naruto says, thanks. So the blue hair one, is she going to be a problem? No, she is going to be banished as she tried to take someone the goddesses and her leader called dibs on. Naruto about to say something but realizes Kurama is gone. Wait, where's Kurama? Naruto asks. In heaven's realm. Kurama is in giant form attacking Nanal as she is screaming in fear, and to the surprise of everyone the buildings are not damaged at all as Nanal shouts, "Why are you even here? Why you don't belong here?" As she cries with Kurama chasing her until he looks to the left as he sees a bath where there's a couple of female angels that are very gifted. Then he vanishes, which he left behind echoing, no. The angels blink, then make a viewer and find where he is, and hearts appear in their eyes when they see Naruto. Back on Earth, Naruto's sweat drops as he sees Kurama begging to be sent back as he at Seraphim's leg. Naruto then sends him back home as he thinks that he will talk with him about that later, as Seraphim says, "Forgive me for sending your pet there." Not a pet, a summon like the other Biju. So Seraphim, I have to ask why. Why me? Naruto asks, as Seraphim says, "You will find out, but not today," as she vanishes in a light. But something is left there and Naruto picks it up and he sees it is a book. He opens, tries to as it won't budge for some reason. It won't open, said Naruto. Naruto then shrugs and says, "It will open when it is ready." No wait, he notices that the book has a lock, with a key hanging with a thick thread. Naruto opens the book's lock and opens the book itself. Naruto sees it as a book of goddesses. So he closes it and says, "I should keep this safe." Naruto then walks over to his secret library. A day later, Naruto is looking over something, then Rija, another maid of his, appears as she brought him tea. "Your afternoon tea, Lord Uzumaki." Rija has short blonde hair with brown eyes with a figure that's a bit thicker than Mawako but legs-wise. As her hair the same size as Mawako, Naruto smiles. "Thank you Rija," he takes it. "Also I would like to tell you that tomorrow someone put something on your schedule," said a voice. Naruto peeks up and sees Lemurt sitting there and Ryusa is surprised as she let out a scream as Lemurt says, "Sorry dearie." Lord Uzumaki w who is she? Asked Ryusa and Naruto said, "This is Lemurt, as he isn't what she is, a goddess." Lemurt giggles, "It's fine that you don't know I am. After all, I'm from foreign land after all." Lemurt says, "But I am a goddess, yes." Naruto says, "Yeah. So you may go Ryusa, thank you Lord Uzumaki." She leaves the room, and Naruto asks, "So why are you here?" "Oh, just wondering if you are free for a date." "Yeah I am, so what kind of date?" asked Naruto, and Lemurt says, "Oh, a picnic, a nice walk at park and top it all off, you and me, doing it." Naruto says, "Okay, but I hope you have a better form than this." Then in a flash, there in that chair is a Latina woman with a very busty and curvy figure. Naruto says, "Hot damn." Lemurt giggles as she says, "Glad you like it." Lemurt says, "I hope you are ready as I would like the date," as she leads over the desk and rests her arms on it with her head on her hands. "Well, what do you say?" "Oh why not?" said Naruto, "but, not today though, as I have things to do, and one of them is plans with one of my girls for dinner." Lemurt says, "I figured and I just wanted to let you know about what I wanted. And I thank you for that, but I can take you on that date tomorrow," said Naruto, and Lemurt then kisses him on the lips as she says, "See ya tomorrow, bye." She disappears and Naruto blushes as he says, "I'm in for wild time, I just know it," as he goes back of what he doing, which looking over the castle's finances, a list of new possible women to join as well a ban list. Later in the day, Naruto is at the museum with Robin as they see a display of a drawing of some great battle in far past. They are enjoying themselves as Robin says, "Oh you were right Naruto, I have never seen these before." Naruto says, "Yeah, when I saw the photo of these, I thought about you and how you would like to learn more about this." Robin is humming happily, then comes across a painting that was never shown. It was a picture of a battle, and in that picture was Naruto Uzumaki, the 7th Hokage, and his rival Sasuke, but it seems some of the words got lost because of time. Naruto then turns to see the description plaque next to it and smiles. "It seems this is a painting of my ancestor fighting his rival, which if I guess." He points without touching the glass as there's a symbol of a fan on the back. "It's the Uchihas, they're don't much their days not since there got a nasty virus couple years back." Robin says, "Oh yes, I remember hearing about that. They lost so many. Do we know any survivors?" Naruto says, "Let's see, well I know my fiancés Itomi and Izumi is alright. Satsuki Lucky was overseas at the time. Makoto-chan was with Satsuki but was already a part of my harem, and their cousin Sarada was the only one that didn't got sick. there are others but I don't know what the state they're in. Robin nods. I forgot you got Makoto in your harem with Hitomi Hyuga, which is a surprise. Then find the wedding of Naruto and Hinata, well makes sense since I do put their two incomas, a lot. Robin asks, how did they get these pictures anyway, as I know Lady Kushina was protective of them. Naruto says, well, from what I know, they're used photos to recreate the drawings or draw them in person with supervision, said Naruto, and Robin asks, who was watching them? And Naruto says, Mito. He sweats, she's very scary woman. As are more than you know Hana. Robin asks, Naruto says, more as she is an Uzumaki. Robin then says, you got to stop having Makoto and Hitomi incomas. Naruto says, I would, if they stop begging me to get them pregnant. Robin says, oh, that's why. Naruto nods. Robin would not be surprised, as MILFs of the harem has drunk a special drink making them live as long as an Uzumaki, even the gold tag ladies along with Parent. Anyway, let's go to the next exhibit, said Naruto. They head to an exhibit with the mask of the Shinigami, a replica. As the disclaimer explains, this is not the true mask but a replica of it. Due to how old the real thing is, many are scared it might be fragile. I heard Mom found the real one but someone took it, as he said that it felt so wrong. Like a dark presence around it, said Robin. Really? Said Naruto. Then he adds, then again, I won't know, I never seen the real thing, only heard scary stories about it, how it would take your soul if you don't behave. Meanwhile, in the celestial realm, the Shinigami pouts as she says with her arms crossed, my mask does not do that. Back with Naruto. They head to the next exhibit, and it is an exhibit of the Phoenixkage clan armor, weapons and other things, even a replica of the Heart of the Sun. The story say it's a heart of a Phoenixkage, but in truth it's just a jewel that has a appearance of a heart with symbol of a Phoenixkage on the middle in a medallion with a sun on it. As also explains, in the olden times, this gem would be given to the would-be heir. There are also stories that the gem itself glows and gives off powerful heat. They say it is the gem of the leader. Robin says, wow, it's beautiful. Naruto nods as he knows it is not the real one. He has been in the presence of the real one many times, and next to the gem is the armor of Blaze the First, who was a monster of war. Even though it says, Phoenix's armor, but it gives the aura of a demon, many are in awe of it as it was built to be balanced, fast, flexible and durable. It does look demonic, said Naruto. Robin nods, and then there is a picture of Blaze the First wearing it as it was painted before a battle. I agree, yet it is also elegant in a way. Naruto agrees, yeah, that is true. From there, they head somewhere to eat. They enjoy their lunch, as Naruto orders a burger, and Robin orders a salad with chicken. They are enjoying their meal. Robin says, this is nice. As she enjoys this, Naruto nods, I agree, but then both hear. Naruto, said a voice that Naruto knew as he turned to see a woman wearing a red tracksuit that was zipped down to show off her large ikupand red hair. Oh, hello Minori Rokuju. I did not think I had training until Thursday, but he was surprised by him getting her covered as she says, oh, I missed you, my favorite student. Robin pouts at this as Naruto waves his arms as he can't breathe, and Minori moans as she says, oh, Naruto, you're moving too much, you naughty boy. Robin taps her shoulder, can you let him go? He can't breathe. Minori blinks a bit, then says, wait, really? As she never feels Naruto moving. Robin frees him as his soul comes out of his mouth. Robin sighs and shoves his soul back in. You are not dying on me, said Robin as she tries to push it back as Naruto's soul says, oh, I see a light, Grand Himawari. Is that you? Then a dark hand reaches out and drags Naruto's soul back into his body, the colors returning to him as he gasps for air. Meanwhile, in Realm of Heaven. Damn it, I was hoping to see my beloved grandson, said a woman named Himawari, who is 5 times the great-grandmother of Kushina and 6 times great-grandmother of Naruto. And she used to look like an elderly woman, but it seems in heaven she returns to a young woman with a rocking figure, which explains where Kushina got hers from. Then a voice says, no. It was the voice of Kami as she said, it was not his time, as much I wanted it to be. Himawari looks at the ruler of heaven as she says, yeah, cause you and the other goddesses want Tohim. I want to spend time with him. I haven't seen him since he was 4. Back at the land of the living. Robin is glaring at Minori with a fist raised and it was smoking with Minori on the ground in chibi form holding her head with steam coming off of a lump on her head as she says, "Ow. What was that for?" Minori is nursing her head. As Robin says, trying to kill Naruto. Minori whines, Naruto is sitting down and eating, then Robin joins him. Couple hours later, Naruto and Robin are visiting some historical sites of Konoha and can tour the 7 Hokage's house free of charge. Both Naruto and Robin see how the faces stand there proudly against the test of time. Then they head to the house and when they get there Kurama appears and just runs off. Robin asks, "Are you going to stop him?" "No, remember this was Naruto the First's home, and they were very close friends. The memories are something we could never forget," Naruto said as they walked through the house. They found Kurama lying on the bed of the master bedroom. "Good memories, Kurama?" asked Naruto. Kurama said, "And familiar sense." Kurama looked around the room with a look of longing. "The memories this place holds," said Naruto as he looks around. "Still though, this place is amazing, still stand after many years." Kurama says, "I can answer that actually. After my friend passed away Himawari wanted to preserve the house and went to Blaze the 30th to help, but using a special coating to cover the whole house, making sure it would never age, never wear out and so on. I wasn't listening much as I was napping within Himawari." Naruto nods, "It preserved everything. Tell me Kurama, are you happy this place is still here?" Kurama says, "Yes, it's home, and still home." Naruto smiles, Robin, trying to stop herself from ugly cry. It's very touching. Naruto then walks over to a picture of Naruto the First's mother and father. It's still scary how insanely alike they look to his mother and father, but he wishes his father was the First's father. Naruto then removes those thoughts from his head and then heads out and Kurama then disappears. Later that night at the castle, Naruto is walking to a room and knocks on the door. Naruto hears, "Come in," and Naruto enters, as he says, "I hear you want to see me." As he sees who it is, a woman wearing a kimono as she is having some tea as she long blue hair, and white eyes, she is Hitomi Hyuga, she's rank as silver as she was the Hyuga Mochirik before something befell the clan and become Naruto's woman. "Evening Naruto," said Hitomi, "Good evening Hitomi." As Naruto sits down as he says, "I'm surprised you have clothes on and are noticed you begged me to you into oblivion." "I would actually like to talk to Naruto," said Hitomi as she had a maid pour him some tea. Naruto asks, "Oh. About what?" As he takes a sip of the tea, "Oh, about my daughters." "What about them, my dear?" asked Naruto, "Would you add to your harem?" She asks. Naruto chokes on his tea, he coughs as he says, What? Wasn't the deal that I didn't. What changed?" Hitomi sighs and says, "That was the original deal but it changed as well. Given back then, they were either in school or in relationship but, sigh." Naruto listens as he finds out, the eldest found her ex cheating on her with someone from his job, as the younger one got bullied to the point that she just stays at her dorm room. Naruto then asks, "Tell me, what do you want me to do?" Hitomi sighs and says, "F for Hinata, show her that not all men are the same and she will loved by you given how big your heart is." Naruto nods as he understands that, as for Hanabi, she just needs a confidence boost, so their words have no effect on her and face any and all. Naruto sighs. Question, who is Hinata's boyfriend? Some jerk named Riser Phoenix. And Naruto then looks at her, "Oh, this is out of my jurisdiction." Hitomi says, What do you mean?" As she was saddened by this. Naruto then makes a call and puts it on speaker. "Hello Naruto, how can I help you?" asked Blaze and Naruto says, "The traitorous Phoenix has been found." Hitomi is confused. Then fire shoots out of the phone as they hear, "Finally." Naruto says, he would like to ask you something, as he hands the phone to Hitomi as he asks, "Quick question, did he have with Hinata?" Hitomi shakes, "No, she told me as she glad that she didn't." "Do you know where he lives?" asked Blaze as he's on the speaker. A bit later in the night, somewhere else. Riser is in his family house while his mother is scowling. She liked Riser's ex as she says, "How could you do to her Riser? She's such a sweet girl. I got bored of her." Riser has his arm around Yubeluna's shoulder as his mother just looks at him like he grown a second head, while her daughter Revel is nervous as the mother says, "I can't believe I have idiot son," she yells. She is about to yell again but freezes as she feels something, very familiar and its furies. When the door is knocked on, the mother says, "Could you handle that, sweetie?" As she looks at her daughter. She is about to, then something is thrown through the window. "Get down!" shouts Isabel as she and her daughter did, then a bang happens as it was a flash bag and Isabel and Ravel have ringing in their ears. While Riser and Ubeluna are seeing bright lights and ringing, the door is broken down and soldiers come into the house, find them. They do, and Riser and Ubeluna have guns pointed at them as one helps up. "I am very sorry, Lady Isabel Phoenixkij," as she is still shaken. Back with Naruto. Naruto says, "I wonder if there will be casualties." Hitomi is shocked to hear that. "Why you think so?" Naruto thinks on, as to his right, the window with the view of the city as there's an explosion can be seen in the distance. "Yeah, I am sure. But Blaze was talking about Isabel differently from Riser." Hitomi nods. "Well, for now, I hope you would talk to my daughters and I hope they would at least think to join." Naruto says, "Well, that is kind of hard to do. But I will do what I can." Hitomi says, "Well, for now, you have a good night." Naruto nods, likewise, as he gets up and heads to his room as he has a date with a goddess tomorrow. The next day, Naruto has a picnic basket in hand as he is waiting for Lemuert as he sees it's very lovely day. Naruto thinks, this will be a beautiful picnic. "Hello, handsome." Naruto turns to see Lemuert next to him. "Hello, my lovely goddess." Lemuert giggles, "Ain't you a charmer?" Naruto then takes her hand and kisses her knuckle and she blushes as she says, "Oh my. My teacher Kajita is my manners teacher. She drilled into my head to be polite, especially with all the ladies I am with, but also when to drop when I have to deal with unsavory people, more so who won't take a hint." Lemuert giggles, "I hear that. Let us enjoy our picnic." Naruto opens the basket. It is filled with excellent food and Naruto then lays the blanket down. Soon enough both are sitting. Both begin talking as they are about many things, life, and what they have to do and other things, all the while eating. Lemuert is enjoying her time on this date with Naruto, as she knows the other goddesses are looking at her with envy. Later at a park, they finished their picnic and walked through the park, enjoying the sights and sounds as Naruto enjoyed the sounds of birds. Then Lemuert looked at someone, and it was a man. He sent a flirty wink at her. Lemuert waved her hand, and something happened to the man. He lost his pants and showed he was small below the belt. Lemuert giggles at that as she walks more with Naruto as Naruto asks, "What happened to him?" "Misfortune," said Lemuert. Naruto nods as he won't ask any further. They keep walking, then they head to Naruto's home. But the long way as they like to walk over there. Time skip sundown. Naruto is chuckling with Lemuert as he leads her to his bedroom as Lemuert can feel her heart beating. She is going to enjoy this when they get to the room and they close the door. Lemuert removes her outfit showing off her body as Naruto says, "Wow." Lemuert smiles at that. She is not wearing any underwear showing off her body, as she says, "Like what you see." Naruto asks, "What is my reward if I say yes?" Lemuert thinks on it then smiles, "The hottest titfuck you ever have." "Then hell yes," said Naruto, then he hugs her and grabs her plump and kisses her on the lips. Moments later, as said, Lemuert is about to give Naruto the hottest titfuck he ever have as she putting lotion on hair if double L cup is it making herness. Shine and wet as Lemuert says, "I hope you like divine lotion," is what she used. Naruto asks, "Is that some kind of thing you gods used for use?" "Oh number this is for pleasure and I hope you enjoy it," said Lemuert as she finished preparing her. Naruto said, "Oh I will enjoy this." Lemuert, without delay, wraps her tits onto Naruto's cock, which he feels something that's truly beyond human standard. Naruto shouts, "Holy! They are so soft." As he feels the effects of the lotion as well, Naruto groans as he says, "Oh have you ever had someone say that this ear is soft as clouds?" Lemuert says, "I won't know, this is my first," as she keeps it up. Naruto groans even more as his cock twitches as she is rubbing his cock with her tits as she smiles as she says, "Wow your cock is very lively." Naruto says, "I have a goddess giving me a tit job and I am enjoying it." Lemuert smiles at that. Naruto then grabs hair and starts to them with Lemuert moans on that, "And no wait. I was supposed to give it to you." Naruto says, "I know but that does not mean I can't show my new lady some love like I do my other girls," as he thrusts his cock between her. Lemurd moans, then his cock enters her mouth and she moans at the taste as she thinks, "Oh my, this cock tastes wonderfully. A and H, he I is really G going T to G, give I it to me like he does the others." Naruto keeps thrusting between her and her mouth. Naruto is enjoying this so much as her mouth and feels so good, as he says, "Fuck, I'm going to cum." Then Naruto comes right into her mouth as she moans with her getting a mouth filled with Naruto's cum. Lemurd is enjoying the taste of his cum as she thinks, so good, she is happy that she gets to taste Naruto's cum first. Moments later, Naruto has Lemurd in mating press and is rubbing his cock against her as Naruto says, "I want to hear you beg for it, am I Amor?" Lemurd gulps as she never begged before. Naruto smirks and keeps then grabs her right, "Beg for it, am I Amor?" "Oh okay. P please f fuck m my p pussy Amor, I want yut to see claim m my p pussy." Begs Lemurd. Naruto smiles as he says, "And claim it I will." Naruto then thrusts his cock right into her, making her scream as her toes curl, Naruto thrusting deeper in her while Lemurd screams louder than before. Naruto's cock then hits her womb and she screams more with her shouting out, "Holy shit. You're hitting my womb. Fuck." As she feels Naruto's cock hitting all the right spots within, Naruto then pulls out and thrusts back in and his cock enters her womb. Lemurd screams louder than before, "This is what you wanted. You wanted me to claim you all for myself," shouted Naruto as he keeps her with. Lemurd screams louder than before as she shouts, "Fuck. Oh yes. I have wanted you for a while now. Fully claim me, I am yours." Naruto says, "Oh, to fully claim you, I need to your as well." Lemurd says, "I don't care, just me." Naruto slams his cock deeper in her with her screams louder. Soon enough, Naruto stop holding back and just ramming his cock in her, which hair so hard, he's shaking the bed so hard to the point that it's banging against the wall. Naruto then kisses her on the lips as she moans as she is happy about this while the other goddesses are watching. They feel not only envy toward Lemurd but also feeling so damn hot and bothered. They want their turn as Naruto keeps Lemurd as he just ramming his cock rougher and harder than before. Naruto then breaks the kiss and whispers, "Scream to the heavens and tell the goddesses what their fate will be." Lemurd shouts, "Oh, this is our fates, goddesses, we will all belong to Naruto. This is what we will be. You will become his ladies, prepare to belong to the Uzumaki clan." Naruto thrusts more and more until he comes deeply in her. Lemurd moans as her womb gets flooded. Half hour later, Naruto Lemurd in full Nelson as her air bouncing like crazy as Lemurd shouts, "Oh, you are so strong and wonderful. Keep me. I want your child." Naruto thrusts deeper and harder in her with him saying, "Oh my, you want a child from me? I will try, but know this, your tag will be special likes the other goddesses' tags." Lemurd seems to be ain't listening anymore as Naruto thinks, "Talk about it later, don't want to repeat myself." Naruto then nibbles on her neck as she moans. Couple hours later, Lemurd is on all fours facing Naruto and her shaking hair at him, "Come on, mi Amor, come," and Naruto smirks as he walks over and smacks her. Lemurd moans, "Oh mi Amor," as Harry's jiggling like jello. Naruto says, "You like that? Good, as I can't wait to take this." Then he grabs her hips and soon enough thrusts his cock in her. Lemurd screams out, "Yes," with her bounces like crazy. Soon enough, Naruto is her like crazy while even playing with hair and her nipples as Lemurd screaming louder and louder as she losing this so much and more she won't want to leave. Naruto then whispers, "It seems the mortal now owns a goddess." Lemurd screams louder with Naruto thrusts deeper in her. Naruto then nibbles on her ear as she moans and pants more as she is loving this so much. An hour later, Naruto is her in ballerina position as he licks her thigh as she moans as he still her as he ramming deeply in her with. Lemurd shouts, "Yes, me more, mi Amor, give this goddess your cum." With Naruto ramming his cock deeper in her with him saying, "Oh, you are a slutty goddess. I love this so much, I am thankful you are my first goddess." Naruto thrusts more in her, and more. A bit later, Naruto is making out with Lemurd as he is her again as her air against his chest and his hands are on her as they're moaning in their kissing, their tongues are doing battle and Lemurd is losing. Lemurd is moaning as she does not care if she loses, she belongs to Naruto as Naruto thrusts more in her, until Naruto undo the kiss and onto her nipple. Lemurd moans as she has her hand on the back of Naruto's head. Mi Amor, Keep it up, I would love to have our children do this, even you, if I have milk in them. As Naruto, her nipple harder as well, pulling it. An hour later, Lemurd is tied up and there are nipple clamps on her nipples and he is teasing her as he says, "What do you like?" Lemurd says, "Why you?" She moans louder as Naruto pulls her nipple lightly. Good. Naruto then face her as she is happy to be in this position. Time skip a week later. Naruto is sleeping, Lemurd is sleeping with her head on his chest as both are drained. Which for Lemurd is impossible, yet Naruto was able to do that. They keep sleeping, then Perrin walks in as her belly is a bit bigger. "Oh my weak offend," he tried out a goddess, then a voice, "Well, it goes to show how truly gifted Naruto is," and Perrin then giggles, "Indeed. I agree with you, Lukoa." Lukoa nods, "But I think we should leave them be." Perrin nods, "I agree." Then leave the room. 3 days later, Naruto begins waking up. He feels a weight on his chest and he looks down to see Lemurd as the first thing he thinks is, "What time is it?" He checks the time, as it says it's past noon, but then he checks the date. "Oh shit, we for a week and was out for 3 days," said Naruto as he gets up, which he wakes up Lemurd. "Am I Amor, come back to bed." Naruto says, "Sorry, but we've been asleep for 3 days after a week long." Lemurd blinks, "Shit, you really tired me out." Naruto nods to that. She gets up and stretches, "Oh man, bestie have ever had." Naruto says, "So I guess live up to your expectation then." He smirks, "Better than that, you surpass them," said Lemurd, who then snaps her fingers and a collar appears with a white gold tag. "This is proof that I am yours, am I Amor?" Then she walks over to him with a sway of her hips and says, "Am I Amor, please touch the tag." Naruto wonders why as he touches the tag, but he does, then it glows as a mark appears on him. It looks like a Day of the Dead skull. "Whoa. He look," Lemurd giggles, "that mark is my mark, it lets you summon me and it lets you know that I am here and wish to see you. After you lay with a goddess they will give you a mark like this, or they will give you an item to use as their way of contacting them. Since the Day of the Dead is my holiday, you have a Day of the Dead skull." Naruto nods, Lemurd then kisses him on the lips and he kisses her back. Couple hours later, Naruto is being informed of what he missed. Naruto nods, "I understand, thank you. So Kagato is coming back, good. It is time to add her." The others looked at Naruto and they agreed as one of them, "Oh, I agreed. She's too classy to be living alone." They turn to see Bello, Betty and you, who are both gold rank tags with the numbers of 11 for Betty and 14 for you. Naruto nods, "Also I think when she joins gold and platinum I am thinking of having Kagita join gold rank." Others listening, the gold, platinum and diamond ranks ask, "Are you sure it would be a good fit for her?" And Naruto says, "Oh yes, I believe it would be, as you all remember the time someone just needed to talk or advice, it was Kagita who offered the advice." They nod, then all together they say, "Agreed." Naruto says, "Now then, who are the newcomers?" Later into the day, Naruto is looking at a group of 5 girls, then there is a knock at the door. "Iroha, go see who that is please." A woman who is wearing a unique maid outfit which is showing off her figure, with the top showing off her large double J. She is another of the personal maids of Lord and Lady Uzumaki. She opens the door, "Can I help you?" She sees a male person, "Hi, special delivery to the Uzumaki castle. I was told to give this to a maid or to Lord Uzumaki himself." And Iroha asks, "Did they specify a maid?" And the person says, "Yes, a maid named Iroha." Iroha points at herself. "Then it is yours, miss, have a nice day." The male person walks off. Iroha closes the door and walks over to Naruto and hands him the letter. Naruto looks at it, then opens it, and it was a letter from Kagita. "Oh, it's from Kagita," said Naruto as he began reading it. It reads, "Dear Naruto, I hope you are well. I will be arriving in 2 days. It is time that I tell you the truth. I want to do it in person and it is better that way. I remember when you were a child you promised me something. So please, I hope that we can talk. Your etiquette teacher Kagita. P.S. There is a picture enclosed for you." Then he sees a lipstick mark as he sees 3 different positions of Kagita, with one of them in her underwear, and 2 are fully but covered in a blanket. Naruto blushes and smiles like a fool. Iroha asks, "Something the matter, Lord?" "Oh, just some pictures that Kagita sent me," as Iroha just nods. Then she shows the 5 girls around. They are Akiza Azinski, Alexis Rhodes, Fonda Fontaine, Mindy and Jasmine. as Naruto looks at each other but he stops at certain one. It was Alexis Rhodes and licks his lips along with Fonda as she ice but, he drops as a memory begin play in the back of his mind. Will we be in each other's lives forever, right Naruto? Naruto sees a younger Alexis as their teacher was with them. That teacher was Fonda as well as she taking them to their class as Naruto says, of course we will. It's a pinky promise. He holds up his pinky. And they made that pinky promise. Then that memory forward with the whole ordeal with his father, how they had to move due the house being sold, and how Naruto just sits in the back of the car as he sees crying Alexis, with Fonda comforting her. Before they leave Naruto says, Alexis and Fonda please stay. I need to have a word with you both. The others left, as Alexis, who became a very beautiful woman with a figure that most girls are envious of, with a nice body and her rare J-cup. The other is Fonda, who is also a beautiful lady who hasn't aged a day since Naruto last saw her. Her body was even more envied with Herb and K-cup. So it's been a long time, said Naruto. Alexis stares at Naruto and is contemplating if she should speak. Then she feels a elbow at her side by Fonda. Alexis looks at him who gives her a look that says, say something. As she nudges at Naruto. Is looking at her with hope that he will be allowed to explain yet also scared. Alexis sighs as she finally speak up. Hello and Naruto it has been a long time. As she stuttering as it clearly, she's nervous. Naruto smiles as he thinks, it's been forever since we lost talk and I guess we have to get used to talking to each other. Naruto then walks up and hugs her and whispers, I am sorry Alexis. Alexis blushes as she looks to the side as she hugs him. Alexis the first did not know that my bastard sperm donor would do what he did. Alexis about to say. But, Naruto, don't talk about your father like that. You know he wasn't always like that. It was grief and anger that changed him. Said Fonda. Naruto says, I know but he broke up a wonderful family and destroyed my trust in many men and my mother's heart, Miss Fonda. I am not saying he was always a monster. It is just that I hate what he has turned into. As he let go of Alex as Fonda says, well it's obvious your anger and resentment is clouding the good times you had with your father, sure, he could have handled it better be you. Naruto grabs both hands and drags them to a room in the castle. It is with Naruto's artwork and then they stop at a picture that is covered up and then Naruto snaps and the sheet is removed to show a picture of Naruto painted of his 5th birthday and it was the year before Minato lost himself. This picture is the last one I painted of my father. When I need to at times I come here and look at it and ask myself, why? I know you are trying to defend Miss Fonda but look at it from the point of view of a 5 to 6-year-old child. Fonda is surprised. Naruto says, he became something I didn't recognize. He wasn't my dad anymore. As he just up and left, breaking my mother's heart, and breaking up the family over something that was out of their control. Sure, he could handle it better but in the end, he didn't. So please look at it from a 6-year-old who was scared, helpless, couldn't do anything because I didn't understand at the time and. He takes a deep breath, why did he do all that? Wasn't I enough? Then Fonda starts to cry and hugs him. I am so sorry and Naruto. Naruto sigh, sorry, I'm just, not the type talk about it, but I feel a bit lighter. Fonda hugs him closer as the sheet is put back on the picture. Sometime later, Naruto is in the sitting room in front of a fireplace. Naruto is reading a book, then Alexis and Fonda enter and sit down. Naruto notices them but keeps on reading his book. Alexis starts, Naruto why you know I never stopped looking for you. Naruto looks up at her and smiles, I'm guessing I wasn't easy. Alexis shakes her head, no it was not. Naruto is confused. Alexis says, your mother was through in hiding you. Naruto raises a brow as he says, I thought mom would let you know. Alexis says, no she didn't I lost contact with your mother. Naruto thinks on it as he realizes, likely she had to change her number, for reasons I will have to answer her when I see her. Naruto sighs as something is wrong but he doesn't know the answer and the only one that does is his mother. But for now, let's talk about something. Tell me, how are your family? My brother was still annoying even when we were kids, so you don't need to worry about that, said Alexis. Naruto nods and then he turns to Fonda, and what about you Miss Fonda? Fonda, you don't need to use miss as I'm not a teacher anymore. Force of habit. said Naruto, as he looks at the colors of their tags. Fonda and Alexis are both silver, so how are you settling in? Well, I am surprised that you are married and you have a Mrs. Uzumaki, said Fonda while Alexis thinking, I thought I will be his wife, as she tries and fails her pouts, which Naruto found it's cute as he says, yes, given what I did to her, had to take responsibility. What did you do to her? Asked Alexis, and Naruto says, all the ladies are allowed out of the castle but Perrin is not allowed out of the castle at all. Alexis is confused. Naruto says, she's a bit of a sex fiend and that's before I met her. Alexis's eyes widen in shock and Naruto says, that is why she is not allowed to leave as she has me as I have tamed her and she will not only go for guys but women as well. So if I let her leave then men will die. Alexis says, oh my, as she is surprised to hear that, it's a good thing that she is pregnant, cause it's the only thing that keeps her at bay, said Naruto. Then Naruto has a loving smile on his face. She also had motherly love before she got pregnant, she will be a wonderful mother. Sometimes I see her going to the Forbidden Wing and she comes back with a motherly smile. Alexis is now curious, as Fonda says, Forbidden Wing. Naruto nods, that wing is the home of young ladies who are being stalked by stalkers, pedophiles and were almost sold off in human trafficking. Both are shocked by that. Naruto nods, men are not allowed in this castle unless they fit some things. Blaze and his soldiers are allowed but they have to have some specific things on them. They're listening, and there's this guy who checks the pets here, said Naruto and says, and there's the gardeners but Pamela's employees are gay but damn they know what they're doing. Naruto remembers that they will be in 2 weeks. Then someone walks in, Naruto darling, it was Stussy, both turn to see Stussy. Alexis is shocked at this, Alexis and Fonda this is my godmother Stussy and yes she is one of mine. Stussy waves as she says, hello. Then she sits on Naruto's lap. Alexis and Fonda are surprised and Fonda asks, aren't you some O1W who W works in TDU underworld? Alexis looks at Fonda for that while Naruto is surprised to hear with Stussy, oh my. How do you know? Fonda says, IIH had AAC cousin S saved B by YU. Stussy, how odd, I thought I had erased his memory if he saw me, he just remembered it was a woman with a voice of an angel. Naruto smiles and says, yup my Stussy does have the voice of an angel. You should hear her when she sings. Oh please, you flatter me but I'm nowhere near as good as the world-famous Jessica Rabbit, said Stussy and Naruto says, I still remember when you were watching me as a kid and that voice of yours. Alix is feeling uneasy and Stussy notices this and says, you know, how about you and Alexis here get reacquainted, as I have got a few questions with Fonda here. She gets off of Naruto's lap and walks over to Fonda. Fonda is surprised as she gets taken away by Stussy, leaving the two to themselves. Naruto smiles at Alexis as he says, it's just us now. Alexis is surprised and then a question comes to her mind, tell me has there ever been someone who was banished from the castle? Naruto gets a look of annoyed as he says, yes, the first one, it happened a year ago. Flashback. Naruto is looking over a file and he does not like what he sees, a girl with long black hair, and she gives off a feeling that Naruto does not like. Listen will be upfront Naruto, I don't like how you do things here, said the girl named Heather. Naruto says, excuse me. She taps the desk, you heard me. There will be new changes and rules. Since I'm joining and I want to be the head wife and you just sit back and do nothing as I will handle everything as I will make the husses fall in line or leave. Naruto glares at her, now hold on a minute, you're not even. Oh don't worry dear Naruto things will be fine with me in control, said Heather with a smirk. Then the door opens and in walks Perrin who has the only platinum tag at the time, and following her is Hana who at the time was silver tag and Graphia who is a gold tag with the number 16. Perrin walks over to Naruto's side and Hana and Graphia are at the door. Perrin asks, my love is everything alright? Naruto about to speak but, you, who do you think you are? Said Heather. Perrin blinked as she took aback, excuse me. Asked Perrin as she was looking at Heather like she just grew a second head, you heard me. Cause I Heather, will take over everything. And there will be changes. One of them Perrin snaps her fingers and appears, Hana smiles and unleashes her aura as she is between Heather and Perrin. Who are you? Said Heather. Perrin says, I am Perrin Uzumaki the lady of the castle and my darling's head wife. I am the top lady, they all follow orders from me, but I don't go power hungry with it like you would. The woman between us is Retsu Unohana, or you might remember her other name more. Unohana says, oh, her worst nightmare. She grabs Heather's head in a tight grip. Heather says, why you can't do this? I won't be denied what should be mine. Naruto says, about that, he holds up a stamp that says, rejected and banished. He stamps it on her file and says, Yakiru. Get this power-hungry bitch out of my castle. With his face full of rage, Unohana begins laughing as she asks, so I can do anything I like with her. As her front braids are coming undone as Yakiru is coming out to play, both Naruto and Perrin say, just don't kill her. As she singly says, no promises, as she takes Heather away, who is kicking and screaming. Naruto thinks about it, maybe the world is better off with that bitch not around anymore, he shrugs. Then Naruto turns to Perrin, move up Unohana to gold when she returns. Perrin says, oh, big time. Naruto nods and pulls out a collar with a gold tag with the number 17 on it. Flashback ends. So what happened to the girl afterwards? Alexis asks. Naruto says, that I don't know and need to, that's only Unohana knows. Meanwhile with Unohana and Perrin. Both are having tea, as Perrin remembers, oh yeah, I have been meaning to ask for a year now, what did you do to that girl? Unohana thinks on it, then, oh you mean that girl who tried to take over? She asks. Perrin nods, yes her. Oh I leave a cut on her leg, left her deep within the forest nearby, said Unohana. Perrin, oh my, did they ever find her? Unohana, who said they ever found her, said, and Perrin blinks on that, you don't mind. Unohana says, if she took your place she would have made our lives a living hell. We are happy you are Lady Uzumaki, as you make sure everyone is healthy and happy. Plus you don't try to hoard Naruto all for yourself. Perrin says, well thank you. Back with Naruto and Alexis. So you have no idea what happened to her? Asked Alexis. Nope, and I don't care to, but I do care for you, said Naruto as he is looking at her, Alexis blushing at that. She is nervous. Naruto walks over to her and picks her up and holds her close. Alexis is blushing even more. And Naruto, she says. Naruto says, you know, I don't remember you being this shy. Alexis blushes even worse and he carries her off somewhere. As she says, where are we going? Naruto says, you will find out. As he carries her somewhere in the castle. 10 minutes later she lands on a bed. Alexis realizes what is about to happen, and no wait. I'm not ready. Emotionally at least. She then gets kissed by Naruto. Her eyes widen in shock, but it returns to normal, then slowly closes. Naruto keeps kissing her. Moments later. Clothes are all on the ground and Naruto is playing with Alexis's sass. Naruto says, to think you have such big tits, Alexis. Naruto is playing with her J-cup. Alexis moaning loudly as she says, I thought about W when you W when I was G growing up without you around. A- about what kind of G guy why you are. Naruto raises a brow, and Naruto says, go on. As his fingers also play with her nipples. I won't know if you like B big tits or none at all. B but I was gifted with both A and got versus very happy, so when I found out why you like curvy and busty women. Naruto smirks, you are right, I love to see my women walk my way and watch as they leave. But the most important thing to me is personality. Alexis, really? Asks. Naruto nods, yes indeed, power hungry people can go die though. As he plays with her more, then he pinches her nipples and pulls them, making her really moan, and she climaxes as she says, see coming. Naruto smirks and says, I am going to have so much fun with you. Alexis says, be gentle W with me, and Naruto, please A as a favor O of your first C childhood friend. Naruto then fingers her, oh I shall. Alexis moans loudly. Alexis is about to say something but she gets silenced by Naruto kissing her deeply. Naruto has his tongue invade her mouth as she moans while Alexis is blushing badly as she is thinking, Hei is AAB beast. Hei is D dominating my mouth. With her eyes rolling upward while he's fingering her more. Moments later. Alexis is on her knees as she wraps hair in his cock, which barely covers most of it, as she says, so be big. Naruto groans as he says, fuck. Your tits are insanely soft. Alexis keeps up the tit job while blushing badly as she says, it's versus very lively. Naruto groans as Alexis keeps it up as she slowly leads in and gives the tip a kiss. Naruto groans as he comes on the spot as he blasted Alexis's face with his comb as Alexis is surprised how much he lets out. Alexis gets drenched. It lasted for good 5 or so minutes. Naruto says, sorry. Alexis does not respond, then swallows what is in her mouth as she says, it taste L like chocolate W with H hint of R rose. Naruto smirks and he starts moaning as he sees her moving hair as Alexis says, I want more. Naruto then grabs her head as he says, hold on, I just come there. Alexis tries and Naruto growls and then thrusts his whole cock into her mouth. Naruto thinks, oh no. I think I must have unlocked something within her. Naruto is face her as he knows what he must do now. An hour later, Naruto is Alexis in full Nelson as Naruto says, that's it Alexis, take my cock like the you have turned into, Alexis screaming loudly as she shouts, ohise me. Naruto says, gotta make sure that I tame you. Alexis is moaning like crazy at this. Naruto thrusting wildly in her, Alexis is losing her mind as he groans as he keeping it up. Naruto isher even harder as Alexis is losing her mind more as she says, oh you were really breaking me Naruto. Keep it up, claim me. Naruto thrusts more and more. An hour later, Naruto ice Alexis as he showing no mercy on her. Alexis is screaming like crazy as she shouts, oh Naruto you are taming me. Naruto says, damn right I am. Naruto keeps her hard as he holding onto her hips while thrusting his cock deeply in her. Alexis is gaining hearts in her eyes. Couple hours later, Alexis is out of it. Naruto is getting dressed as he walks over to her and kiss her on the forehead. Alexis moans as she talks in her sleep. Yes, I would like to be more Naruto, as she sleeps. Naruto also changed Alexis's tag from silver to gold with no number. Naruto says, oh boy, gotta keep a close eye on her. Naruto heads out and heads to where his pregnant ladies are. The following day, Naruto looks over plans for the summer as it just 3 months away. We do live near a beach, it's kinda hard to go anywhere else that has a beach. Lucky the beach is a private one which helps as he is hoping to get them soon. Then he looks up and see Mirajin walking around in a bikini. Hey Mira, said Naruto. She says, yes Naruto. Mirajin Strauss is a gold tag with the number 18 on it. Not much, just saying hi as I can tell you're heading to the pool, said Naruto. Mira nods as she asks, do you want to come along? Naruto smirks, only if we get to have some fun as I have plans for you. Mira smiles, that's what I'm hoping for. Naruto gets off of the table and goes with Mira. When he is next to her his hand grabs her making her moan, oh you are horny. More like I am imagining you as something more. Paran is 4 months and Meimei, Joka and Lihua are all 2 months along and I plan on you joining them. I can't wait for your tits to get bigger along with your thighs and to the point it looks like you are wearing a thong. Naruto whispers into her ear. Mira blushes at that as she says, oh my, as an image appears in her head she is 7 months pregnant wearing her bikini with her being bigger along with hair and thighs. She is also rubbing her pregnant belly. Mira loves the idea since she has been wanting to be a mother for some time now and Naruto is planning on making it happen. Naruto whispers, trust me Mirajin, I will not stop until I know that I have made you into a mother. Mira asks, so why you mean? Why you're planning me non-stop until we know sure that I'm knocked up by you? She blushing badly. Naruto's hand goes into the bikini bottom and he fingers her, you're damn right. I would love to see you getting bigger as well growing with our child. Question, do you have a history of twins? Mira asks. Naruto blinks on that as he thinks on it. No wait I kind do. It kinda had to do my Hyuga ancestor, who is married to Naruto the first as her father is known to have a twin brother, so it's possible. Naruto then licks her cheek and Mira shivers. An hour later at the pool. Mira is moaning as Naruto and her are on a lounge chair with him fingering her and playing with her tea with a double J cup. Naruto says, are you ready Mira? Mira moans and says, fuck me Naruto, make me a mommy. Naruto smiles. Naruto then removes Mira's top and bottom and then has his cock at her lips. Soon enough, Naruto isher hard as his cock is hitting her womb entrance. Mira shouts, OHYES. Naruto isher while playing with her. Naruto says, fuck. Yori's tighter than last time. Muragen is moaning happily in this position as she takes it more with her. Naruto then kisses her on the lips as she is happy. Meanwhile with Kushina. She is busy but she sees two things and is about to sign them, but she stops and reads them over instead and says, I think I will talk to Naruto about this first. She gets up and puts them somewhere they are safe, but then her phone rings. Kushina growls as she answers, yes. Then she hears talking as she says, again, sigh, just put the mad scientist on the phone. Kushina hears the voice of the scientist, Jumba, how many times I told you? No experiments until the energy project is done. No, I don't care if it's for evil purposes. Remember, I'm one who is funding your research and experiment. As well, making sure the government both here and outer space don't find you here. Kushina then said, look Jumba, do you really want Blaze to make his appearance to deal with you? He is also protecting you. Besides, if those creatures would get out, then you might have to deal with him and he will be harsh. So please deal with energy projects. Expect the blue little guy. He's free to move around. Yes, it's cause he's cute and fluffy and blue. Said Kushina. Then she says, good, thank you for hearing this. Is yeah, if Blaze has to go to you then it might end badly. Okay, good. Now get back to work and you will be done just before you head home with your family dinner. Take it easy. She ends the call. Working hard. I see, said Blaze as he is in the seat before her desk. Kushina screams in surprise as she says, don't do that. Just because I can live long does not mean I won't die from a heart attack. Blaze is looking over something and she finds out that he has the marriage contracts in his hands. How did you? Kushina asks, when you are busy with your phone call. Kushina then blinks and says, right. Blaze looks over at them and says, well, tell me Kushina, do you know anything about these families? Kushina says, only local, as I don't know much about around the world. Well, I know these families actually, said Blaze. Kushina says, oh. Blaze nods, yeah I do. Both are royalty and if I am right there are 3 more in the pile. Kushina raises a brow, explain what you mean B. Then out of nowhere, something lands on Blaze's face as it's blue, small and fluffy, and this causes Blaze to freaking out cause he didn't expect this. Stitch! Shouted Kushina. Get it off. Get it off of me. Said Blaze as he is trying to get Stitch off of his face, but the little guy is holding on to him with insane strength. Blaze then grabs a pitcher of water and uses it on the little blue devil as it hiss and rush over Kushina. Kushina says, bad Stitch. That is Blaze and he can shut Jumba's experiments down. Stitch looks at Blaze who is panting with his face covered in scratch marks, which heals up quickly, and then Blaze steps forward and the room shakes. Kushina, get that thing to stay away from me. Kushina about to answer, but then he gets hits with a book and Stitch just rolls off with Blaze brow twitching. I'm going to kill that thing if does that again. Now about the contracts. Blaze holds up all 5, as Kushina says, sorry about that A and L let's. Blaze says, you are to read them. Kushina does so. Back with Naruto, hours later. Naruto is Muragen with her against his chest and he is kissing her as Muragen is losing her badly. Muragen then breaks the kiss. Please end Naruto K keep F fucking me as IIW want T to BBS sure. Naruto thrusts deeper in her. Naruto's cock enters her womb as his hands are on her. I know my Mira, as she feels Naruto's cock thrusting deeper in her. Mira moans as she loses her mind more and more. Mira is having her tongue hanging out of her mouth. Naruto kisses her again. Mira is happy to be one of Naruto's girls. An hour later, Naruto and Mira are in bed as he is having her ride him cowgirl style, with Mira screaming loudly as she is losing her mind as she is riding Naruto's cock like there's no tomorrow. Naruto then smacks her, that jiggles more and more like jello. Mira shouts, oh Naruto. Naruto says, tell me who holds your heart my dear. Mira shouts, why you Naruto? You hold my heart. Naruto smiles at this as he is enjoying watching her bounce. Naruto smirks as he keeps it. Naruto then smacks her. Muragen screams. The next day, Naruto is with Muragen as he looks at her as she is passed out. Naruto then kisses Muragen's cheek and then taps her tag and it changes from gold to platinum as he says to himself, note to self, get pregnancy test for Mira. Naruto heads out dressed and then sees Unohana looks like she is distressed. Naruto asks, you okay, Unohana? Unohana says, no I am not. Naruto asks her, what's the matter? As he worried now, as he and Unohana sat, My friend and former student Izane Katetsu is in trouble. Naruto raised a brow. How bad is the trouble? Well, she's in an abusive relationship, said Unohana, and Naruto's eyes flash red. Where is she? I don't know, cause they're move around the city and there could be. Both hear the radio speak up. Lord Naruto, sir. Yes Hina, what is it? Asked Naruto. There's this man here wanting to buy your castle as he believes, and I quote, this badass castle better suited me than some blonde brat with daddy issues with bitches that he doesn't deserve, please don't fire Hina. Naruto smirked evilly with his eyes glowing, I will talk to this clown. Thank you Lord A, and also he's not alone as she has a woman, she's very tall, very beautiful too as she has short silver hair. Unohana heard that, that's insane. Few minutes later, at the gate. Naruto is walking out with some guards and Unohana as they see the man who is talking very loud and rude. Come on sweetheart, you will enjoy my cock, as he is very close to Hina who is so ready to punch him right now. Okay, what the hell do you want? Asked Naruto. Everyone turned to Naruto with Hina, Lord Naruto. As the guy, oh. Who is this Lord guy? I am Naruto Uzumaki, the owner of this castle, and I am Lord Uzumaki, the next clan head. Said Naruto as he glares at that guy, and who you don't matter, just you leaving and leave the silver hair beauty here. Why the should I? Asked the bastard. Naruto says, couple reasons, you upset Unohana cause you have her friend, you bring a lot of discomfort to my guards, Hina more so, and finally, you just pissed me off. Naruto stares at the man as his eyes are red, dark red kind. The man says, so what, you are just a brat. Then he feels his throat tightened, he looks down and sees something furry as he sees it was the tail of a fox. The beach. Everyone are enjoying the beach, until they're heard a distance boom. Oh my, it seems Kurama unleashed, said an elderly man is next to him as long pal as they're fishing as there's a screaming that started off distance but it's getting louder as there's a big splash as the pal says, it must be one of these days when they're blow a fellow, as they're just fishing as the man's body just flowing there. Indeed. I am thankful that Naruto lets use his dock to fish as when he and his ladies don't use the beach. Said the first elderly man, yup, oh boy I got something. He pulls in a nice size fish, oh this is a beauty. As it's a golden carp fish. Back at the castle, Naruto whistles and the gates open and 5 maids come out, you are to help Izane here. Clean her up, get new clothes, burn the old ones and get her checked over by the other doctors. The guards do so as Unohana standing there as Naruto says, go. The maids lift Izane up and carry her into the castle as Naruto follows and says, good work all of you, even you Hina. Hina smiles. Naruto walks over and kisses her cheek making hearts appear in her eyes with a blush, then he heads into the grounds. Later. Izane is very nervous as Unohana is walking with her as they're at the mall, with some guards walking with them as man are looking, but when they see the collar on Unohana's neck many grumble as Izane says, you Unohana. Unohana smiles at Izane. It is fine Izane, I am here. But she butts and it was cut off by Unohana says, no buts. You are free and you will be well cared for, this whole thing is being funded by my sweet Naruto. Said Unohana. Izane says, that sounds too good to be true. They walk into a clothing store and the manager, oh Lady Unohana, it is good to see you again. Tell me what brings you here. Wait, don't tell me. You're here to get a new set of clothes for yourself. Unohana says, no not for me. She pushes Izane forward and the manager says, my word she needs it so bad. Let me guess, all paid for by Naruto. Unohana nods, yes he is, in his words, get her what she needs. I am not letting my friend leave without some nice clothes as she is free of an boyfriend. The manager, who is a woman, said, oh leave it to me and my ladies. She snapped her fingers, then more appeared, ladies we have a survivor, let's get her what she needs. I want her to look beautiful with all the clothes by the time she leaves. Izane says, what? Next thing then she knew, she is taken to the where the ladies' clothes are as the ladies are picking out things for her to try on while Unohana is talking to the manager owner. Her name is Coco Ottle and she went to high school with Naruto. She did modeling for a few years, then she wanted to open her own store and Naruto gave her funding. She also makes some of the clothes as well. Don't worry Unohana, we will fix this mess. Also, has Naruto gotten my letter? Coco waits for Unohana to answer. I don't think so, since Naruto is the only one who handles and gets the mail. said Unohana. Oh okay, I will give him a call when I have the chance. Meanwhile with Naruto. Naruto is reading Koko's letter. She wants to join and have a caller. She wants to show she belongs to Naruto. Naruto smiles at that as he says, I guess that one night off wasn't enough for her. As in high school she was the first to join the bed of Naruto and his at the time girlfriend parent. And they had that one night stand just before graduation, and from there, Koko went on a different path from Naruto and Naruto hasn't seen her since, but he keeps in touch with her as he helped fund the opening of her store. Naruto is looking at a picture of Koko wearing a very skimpy bikini with written on hair in marker, property of Naruto Uzumaki. With a tattoo of the Uzumaki swirl which she got recently. Naruto then texts a message to Unohana. Back with the shop. Unohana looks at her phone and the text is Koko is next to her and she smiles and then she uses her empty hand and grabs Koko's, making her gasp, Unohana. And Unohana massages Koko's. He got it and he will be waiting for you as he will be adding you. Koko is blushing. Koko, so that means, Unohana says, he likely wants me to bring you home. Koko blushes in happiness as she will happily be Naruto's girl, for sure this Tim's. But then they hear, what do you two think? Said the voice of Azane. They turn as Azane is wearing a nice shirt and pants. The shirt is hugging her top a bit in her pants. What do you think? Azane asks, as she blushing lightly as she embarrassed. Unohana says, you look wonderful. Koko says, I agree with Unohana here. Azane says, why you think so? See cause it's a little tight on my as she said that her rare double J. Both think, Naruto is going to love her. She looks fine. Very fine. Time skip sundown. Unohana, Azane and Koko are in the limo with all the purchases in the trunk. So tell me Unohana, is Naruto married to someone I don't know? Unohana says, well no, he is married to his lady Uzumaki parent. She is his first wife. Koko says, oh, should have known. Unohana giggles, can't say I blame you. Koko asks, has any other women joined her in her rank? Unohana says, well. Meanwhile with Naruto. Naruto is trying to reach Hitomi's daughters but neither of them are answering. Sigh, Naruto then growls, damn it. Then he calls Blaze, only to find he's not answering. Damn it, he always answers, why isn't he answering? With Blaze. So Kushina, of those 5 contracts do you want answers for? Asked Blaze as the alien is in a human-sized cage with one idiot inside being tortured as Kushina says, can't concentrate with that. Blaze then signs and pushes a button and they both go down a pitfall trap. Better. Kushina, a little, anyway, what did you find out? As the two talking, not realizing the phone of Blaze is vibing, well one of the contracts is just a father trying to make his daughter be like his wife, a woman who is seen but not heard or anything else, said Blaze. Kushina then shreds that one in the shredder as she says, don't like that one. Blaze nods then Kushina looks at one for a young lady named Kita. Kushina asks, Blaze thinks, oh yes I know of her. She is like Princess Yu. She is the princess of the kingdom of the sea country like you is the princess of Frost country. Wait, I thought Koyuki was the leader. Kushina said. Blaze says, you're thinking Spring Sea country is a different nation. Kushina says, right, my ancestor dealt with that. Now who is next? Kushina sees, 2 noblemen's daughters named Elsa and Anna. Blaze thinks, Elsa the oldest of the two, with Anna being the youngest. Kushina sees a photo. So she bring it out and sees, she sees first as Elsa, she look about 1 or 2 older than Naruto, as she has a elegant beauty, with a figure that kinda got Kushina blown away. She was beautiful with of coupe and a nice in a beautiful ice dress, with icy blonde hair and red lips. Wow, it's like I'm watching Ice in human form, said Kushina, as she looks at the sister. She is wearing a nice green summer dress and she has double E-cup, with red hair. And this just screams cute, said Kushina. Blaze looks at Kushina, don't tell me you are actually concerning signing theirs. As she says, is my daughters-in-laws. As she holds the photos. Blaze looks at Kushina, what do you want to know about them? Back with Naruto. Naruto growls and says, damn it. But then he makes a call to the one person he never thought he would have to call. He sighs as he looks through the contacts, then he gets to the name Lady Phoenixkid aka Blaze's wife. Forgive me, as he makes the call. A bit later. Kushina is looking at the 3 marriage contracts she will sign, but she sends a message as she wants them to meet Naruto before she signs. As Blaze senses something amiss, Blaze gets a call and he answers, "Hello. Sweetie, why did I get a call from young Naruto as you did not pick up his calls?" Blaze starts to sweat as it is his wife. "See, cuz IIW was I in AAM meeting W with K Kushina." An hour later, night time. Naruto is heading to a room where Koko is waiting for him as Naruto says, "Hello Koko, been a long time," as he enters the room and Koko is there looking at him with a look in her eyes and she is ready for him. Naruto smirks at that. Then she shows him her with the tattoo of the Uzumaki spiral on her as she says, "Come and fully claim me, my dear Naruto. Make this mark true." Naruto is about to do that. But his phone rings. Naruto growls and then throws the phone to the side, but then he remembers his call with Mrs. Fonashki's call, but as he goes for it the ringing stops and Naruto shrugs. Then he heads back to Koko. "You sure you should be doing that?" Koko asks. Naruto then removes his shirt. "If it is important they can leave a message, sex is more important right now." Koko shrugs as both begin making out. Naruto then reaches around her and grabs her, making her moan. Half hour later. Koko is moaning as her hair being played with by Naruto as he thrusts wildly in her. Koko is moaning in pleasure, "Yes. Remind my body that it is yours. Please let me be yours, and if you do then I will gladly model new underwear for you, even giving the ladies discount on underwear." Naruto smirks as he keeps it up. Naruto then kisses her as she moans. A few minutes later, Naruto now Koko like madman with Koko screaming out, "S so rough. Why you be breaking me?" Naruto says, "Oh that is right, like I did when we were in high school." With him thrusts even harder than before. Koko screams, "Yes, break me like you did in our graduation." Naruto smirks as he is going to do that and more. Moments later, with them in the mating press, Koko is enjoying this so much as Koko is screaming more and more with Naruto slamming his cock deeper in her. Koko screams, "Yes." Naruto thrusts more in her as he keeps it up as both of them are sweating greatly. Naruto then whispers, "Oh yes, you will join and you will keep your job." As he thrusts deeper in her, Koko moans even more. Couple hours later. Koko is riding Naruto's cock like crazy. Naruto then smacks her and she moans, "Yes Naruto, more." Naruto smirks as he sees Koko doing all the work. Naruto is watching her bounce like crazy. Koko screams out, "S so good. Why your cock is so good." Naruto says, "Keep bouncing on my cock you horny fashionista." Koko screams as she does what she is told. Sometime later. Naruto is Koko doggy style with Naruto thrusting more in her as he says, "That's it my dear, keep taking my cock." Koko shouts, "Oh yes. More, I love this cock." Naruto smacks her. Koko screams enjoying this. Naruto her more and more. Naruto then turns her head and kisses her on the lips as she kisses back while taking more of Naruto's cock in her. Koko is thinking, more. With her eyes now hearts. Naruto keeps her. The next day. Koko is walking to the entrance with a new collar around her neck as her mind is very much broken. Hana says, "Oh she reminds of me when I first had with you Naruto." Yeah, but her mind will return in day or two. Hana giggles and then Naruto asks, "So how is Azane?" Hana says, "Oh she is adjusting here very well." Naruto nods, "Got it, now tell me where is she?" Hana answers, "For now, she's staying with me in my room." Naruto nods, "Good, also I will be visiting you tonight." "But Azane," said Hana. Naruto said, "Hana, she will have to understand that others are here for her. I am not visiting but to help you." Hana says, "Oh, I misunderstand." She blushes in embarrassment. Naruto smiles, "Oh get your head out of the gutter." As he laughs a bit, Hana blushes and then Naruto kisses her cheek. "Besides I have a party to get to in a few days." Hana says, "A party?" Naruto nods, "Yes, the annual Phoenixkage ball." Naruto then picks up his phone and makes a call as he remembers, "Oh right." He answers. With Blaze. Blaze picks up, "Hey Naruto, sorry I did not pick up when you called. I was in a meeting with your mother." He hears what Naruto say and asks what the meeting was about. "Well, just something about contracts, the marriage kind." Blaze then moves his phone away from his ear as Naruto shouts as it can be heard outside, "What?" Blaze returns the phone, Talk to your mother also. Will you and Perrin be attending the ball? Planning on it, and yes we will, said Naruto, and Blaze says, wonderful. Also be warned, there are some kids from your high school who will be attending, and I think some might try something with you, like trying to get you to leave. Naruto blinks as he thinks as if he couldn't remember anyone's faces at all. I don't remember the many from high school. Blaze laughs. Oh, I think you remember Kanae and Shinobu Kocho. Naruto thinks of it. He remembers them and their little sister Kanao as he says, I kinda remember them. Blaze chuckles, you would love how they look now. So the invite will arrive soon. Time skip the next day. Naruto and Perrin are arriving by limo to the Fonashikage mansion as there's many others. They get out of the limo and they head up to the entranceway, then someone stops them. As the first one is seemed to be formerly a jock that won't let go the past glory days of high school. He is Dash, someone who used to be high school with Naruto as well, their school's former star football player. What are you doing here? Is this for the elite and the elite only? Said Dash as Naruto looks at him and tilts his head as he says, do I know you? Perrin thinks on it too. Dash stands there like a statue, then the lady next to him speaks up as she gives off the same aura as Dash, who used to be something in their high school days and haven't been able to live past it. I have to agree with Dash, you don't belong here, said the young lady named Paulina, and yes, she is married. Naruto asks again, do I know you too? With his eyes narrow and his mind drawing a blank, Paulina turns to stone, then Naruto and Perrin go around them. Remember Perrin, no wine. Oh I know, I don't want Hana coming down on me, said Perrin. Inside, Naruto and Perrin enter and find Penelope, and she turns and smiles at them. Oh, you two made it. Though I am surprised, I thought you would bring everyone else, said Penelope as Naruto asks, wait what? Then Perrin says, sorry Lady Fonashikage, but they had to stay behind as we freed someone from an abusive relationship. Oh my, I had no idea, been busy setting this up, said Penelope. Yeah, me too, as I had to give my mom a word or two, said Naruto, and Penelope asks, marriage contract? Which I don't mind, but it's just Naruto's problem, said Perrin. Naruto looks at Perrin, who looks at him with a warm smile, and Penelope giggles. Oh Naruto, please lighten up. Be you. Penelope gives him a stern look. Naruto, you know how much your mother wants an army of grandkids. Naruto's sweat drops as he forgot about that. Penelope smiles smugly as he says, fair enough. Penelope pats his head, good boy. Couple minutes later, Naruto and Perrin are walking around, then they see Starry and his wife again. Naruto thinks, oh that guy again, he is trying to kiss up to Blaze, but Blaze doesn't care. Blaze then walks away and Starry is shocked as he says, but Lord be Blaze. He growls, then turns to see Perrin, and he is shocked at the beauty as he drools and steam comes out of his nose. Perrin then walks right by him and not noticing the angry look of his wife. He then walks up to her with a swagger. He lightly taps Perrin's shoulder. Perrin keeps walking as she shows no care for him, and this didn't go well with Starry. He growls and is about to grab her shoulder, but then a server comes up to Perrin. Sparkling water, Lady Perrin? Asked the server. Yes, thank you, said Perrin. She takes it and takes a sip. Oh, my flavored water. From the taste I would say blue raspberry. A wonderful flavor. Server. Yes, that's right, Lady Perrin. Perrin smiles and keeps walking with the glass in hand, but she hears, I have happened to like blue raspberry as well, as it's from Starry, while in truth, Perrin looks at him and asks, you are? Oh, I'm one of Konoha City riches, Starry. Perrin is looking at Starry like he is an ant as Perrin says, whatever you are trying to do, I'm not buying it, besides I'm taken. She holds up the hand with her wedding ring on her ring finger. Sorry, I can make you happier. I can get you anything you wish for within Konoha. Maybe the world, said Starry, and Perrin says, yeah no. I don't care for the money at all. Only one man has my heart, body and soul. That one man is my husband, as she gives him a deadpan look on her. Starry is shocked at this, then he is pulled away by his wife and Perrin turns around and keeps walking. Perrin reunited with Naruto as he asks, what took you? Oh nothing, just a pest, Perrin answers. Naruto nods, then as more guests enter, people are mingling, then someone grabs Naruto and tries to drag him out, which Perrin is confused. Naruto. As she looks around for him. Naruto is struggling. You bastard, why are you trying to kick me out of the party? As the guy says, yes, cause you don't belong here. Said a man as Naruto looks to see another blonde guy but his hair is longer, his name is Motoyasu Kitamura as he is wearing a tux. Then Motoyasu is grabbed and Naruto is freed. They see some guards then Perrin walks over scowling. Motoyasu says, what are you doing? He shouldn't be here. As the guard paid no mind to him as they asked Naruto, are you alright, Lord Uzumaki? I am thankful. I am not happy with how some people are treating me. But how the hell did he get in here as it seems he does not belong here? Naruto says. Then they hear, let him go. Everyone turns to see a woman named Malty. Malty is walking up to the guards, let Motoyasu go and get these two out of here. She ordered and pointed to Naruto and Perrin. No can do, they are the boss's most honored guests, said one of the guards and Malty screeches out, what? As she can't believe this, so if you have problem with that, then you will have to take it up with boss Blaze himself. The guard points to Blaze who is sitting at the head table in his seat sipping some wine. Malty growls as she says, let's go Motoyasu. We are leaving. Naruto walks away with Perrin as they talk with everyone else. Until Naruto meets with another of his ladies Koyuki. Koyuki, I am surprised to see you here. Koyuki giggles with a golden tag collar around her neck as she says, likewise but it's been a long time though. Naruto says, well it's been 4 months, with a smile, yes but my acting took me away from you for a long time my dear. So are there any pregnancies yet? Asked Koyuki. Yes, you miss a few and right now Perrin is pregnant, said Naruto. Koyuki looks at Perrin and smiles, oh that is wonderful. Later into the party, Naruto is talking to Blaze about something, so Hinata and Hanabi have you found them? Yeah, it turns out Hinata is in a hotel outside of Kiri as she got taken by some guys from there. Naruto widens his eyes, no worries. As we speak my men are getting her out of there, as for the sister. She is just busy with college. Naruto nods, as Hitomi is worried about them. Blaze nods, I know as I said, Hanabi is very busy as it seems there's a lot at stake. Naruto nods to that. Meanwhile Perrin is by herself as she is talking with someone. Leave me alone I am happily married, said Perrin as there's a guy behind her, as the man doesn't seem to be a man who doesn't take no for an answer. Oh come on baby you would be happier with me. Perrin is getting mad at this. Fuck off, shouted Perrin and the man moves to grab her but then he feels something against his head. I think I have heard enough. As it's one of Blaze's more senior guards, and behind him are 4 royal guards who walk up to Perrin and get between her and the man. Lady Uzumaki are you okay? Asked the lead guard. I'm fine, I was about to lose my cool and slap him if you didn't step in, said Perrin. The guards then turn the man around and the one with the gun saves, move. They take him away as a royal guard leads Perrin to Lord Blaze. A bit later, Blaze breaks a wine glass, bring him to me now. The guards salute and the guests are watching this and Naruto is holding Perrin who has 4 guards surrounding her. Moments later as Blaze is giving the guard whose name is Mizuki, I brought you into my home. I treated you like family. And this is how you repay me. As many are looking at the guard on the ground in disgust, I give you my trust, I had doubts but I wanted to give you a chance. Blaze then gets up, you tried to take advantage of one of my guests. Not only that, a married guest. I brought in 2 that gave me doubts. But the other one has taken this chance and is doing well. You are no longer welcome here. Take him and strip him of the uniform and then call the police. As the other guard that entered with Mizuki is watching and shaking her head then she hears, Harley come here now. Then a woman does a flip to show herself as she wearing female version of the uniform as she salute to Blaze. Harley Quinn reporting in, Lord Blaze sir. I have a job for you. Now I am putting my trust in you so don't fail me. Said Blaze as he says, I don't like being disappointed twice. Harley says, yes sir. And Blaze says, you are to keep Lady Perrin Uzumaki safe for the rest of the night. He glares, understand. Yes sir, can I still have some of the food though? Asked Harley and Blaze said, I am not that heartless. So yes you may, I will not let my people go hungry. As the guards drag Mizuki away. Time skip after the party. Naruto and Perrin with Harley are heading to their limo. Perrin says, thank you for watching over me Harley. Harley says, you're welcome Lady Perrin. I did not want to fail Lord Blaze. Naruto snaps fingers, now I know where I had seen you, you're from Gotham from the States. Harley nods. Yeah, Blaze was able to get me back on the straight and narrow as he ended Joker as he attacked Lady Penelope, but Lord Blaze did one thing legally. He got the bounty and permission from the president, by what I rather not know. Naruto nods. Then asks, what about Batman? And Harley says, Batman could do nothing at all. The paperwork came from the president himself. I see, for now, have a good night Harley, said Naruto as he and Perrin get in the car as Harley waves as the car drive off. Naruto pulls Perrin closer to him as her head is on his shoulder as she smiles and rubs her belly as she really can't wait to hold their child in her arms. Couple days later, Naruto is heading to Unohana as he wants to have her, as he knocks on her door, and Unohana answers the door wearing a robe. Oh Naruto, what brings you by? Naruto smiles. You. Unohana blush. Oh my. Unohana leads him into her room and his hand is on her making her blush more, as both make their way in. Naruto smirks and says, I have plans for you as you heard Miragen is now pregnant. Unohana asks, so that means, it's my turn. Naruto squeezes, yup, I want to get you pregnant. Unohana blushes, as she imagines herself nursing a child with blonde hair with red streaks in it with her belly carrying another one. Please make it true, says Unohana. Naruto giggles as he says, well, I don't know what you mean, but alright. He kisses her deeply. Naruto then breaks the kiss and removes Unohana's robe as it pulls at her feet. Moments later, Naruto is licking Unohana moaning loudly as she saying, OHN Naruto why you are so good. Unohana begins playing with hair as Naruto licks her more. Not knowing that there's someone else in the room more, in the closet, Azane is nervous as she is watching Naruto do what he is doing to Unohana. As she was thinking, Unohana why? As she hears the voice of Unohana moments before, stay in here and watch us, okay? Azane is very nervous as she watches them going at it, as she might be next, but there is one small problem. She is a virgin. As Naruto now fingers Unohana, Unohana moans, I want to hear it Unohana, I want to hear you beg. Unohana says, no please. Don't make beg. Naruto then licks her cheek and whispers, then you don't want it as badly as you think. Unohana whines upon that. As Naruto begins to slow down as he says, I might as well stop and, no p please Naruto f fuck me. Dominate me make me mommy. Unohana begs loudly as Naruto smirks upon that. Good, I will make you into a MILF, said Naruto as soon as possible. 20 minutes later, Naruto eyes Unohana like a madman while on her nipples with Unohana moaning like crazy. Naruto keeps her while Azane is fingering herself as she hidden herself in the closed. Naruto then removes Unohana's nipples and has his face at hers and asks, where are you hiding it? Unohana widens her eyes as she thinks, did Naruto find out about Azane? Where is the leash at? Asked Naruto. Unohana said, oh. It's you under the bed. Naruto nods then removes his cock and reaches under the bed and grabs the leash and attaches it to her collar and then gets back to her. An hour later, Naruto is still holding the leash as he eyes Unohana in doggy style, that's it, keep it up. You know where you belong, don't you? With her eyes rolling upward, Naruto thrusting his cock deeply and deeper into her, Naruto then smacks her making her moan. Unohana moans out, oh Naruto. Naruto smirks and keeps her then his cock enters her womb and Unohana feels it as she says, oh you Arami womb, is she losing it badly? Naruto keeps her as she is screaming like crazy. Unohana shouts, oh Naruto you are destroying me, yes come right into my womb, get me pregnant. Naruto lets go of the leash and grabs onto hair as he says, not yet. Unohana whines but replaces with a scream. Naruto is sure like crazy then sees something out of the corner of his eye. He sees the door of the closet moving a bit. Naruto then stops and leans over, are you hiding something from me Unohana? Unohana says, no. Naruto then smacks her, do not lie to me Unohana. If I have to remove my cock and open that door you might not like the results. Call out the person now Unohana. Unohana says, but, Naruto then says, now or I am not going to breed you. As he starts to pull his cock out and Unohana does not do that, she calls out, Azane see come out. Azane slowly comes out of the closet without pants and her top open showing her K-cup. Naruto smiles as he says, well it seems we have a voyeur and I will deal with you next. As he goes back to Unohana and Unohana screams loudly. Azane is forced to watch as Naruto Unohana into next week. Couple hours later. Unohana is panting as Naruto is walking over to Azane and Unohana has comb leaking out of hair as she is twitching. Naruto says, "Your turn." Azane is nervous as then Naruto grabs and squeezes making her moan as she says, "Pete please BBG gentle." Naruto then kisses her as she blushing badly. Naruto then has his cock at hair as they kiss more. Azane finds Naruto's tongue at her mouth then Naruto pushes Azane to the wall. Azane is blushing badly. Naruto is going to town on her. Moments later. Naruto is Azane in doggy style as she saying out, "OOF fuck why you're destroying my p pussy." With her eyes rolling upward as she losing it badly, Naruto keeps her and even smacks her. Naruto says, "Oh I'm going to do more than that." Naruto is Azane like a beast. Couple hours later. Naruto ice in full Nelson with his cock in her womb as Azane shouting out, "Why you're so good Naruto." Naruto says, "Good to hear as you are now mine." Like Unohana and other women in the castle. Azane is screaming in pleasure. There went on for rest of the night. The next day. Naruto is walking around the castle as he thinks, well I wonder how everyone is doing. Oh right, I should check my phone as I had someone check on Hinata, as he heads to his office. Naruto then finds Ryusa cleaning his office as he says, "Hey Ryusa, Lord Uzumaki is everything okay?" "Yes, I'm just looking for my phone." Ryusa says, "Oh I put it away in the drawer." "Thank you Ryusa," said Naruto as he walks over to his desk and opens his drawer and pulls out his phone as soon enough he sees the call that he's waiting for, so he calls them back. Meanwhile outside at the gates. The guards are standing by as they're just watching, a group of people doing something. "We can build here," said someone, as the guards that's on watch see a woman who gives off the energy of, "I do what I want as I have the power." Hina says, "They don't know they are trespassing right?" As other nods, "Oh they're just don't know it yet. Cause if I recall the whole property is from the beach to where you enter from the road," said Hina, as others are calling for Naruto but it seems that he's busy at the moment. With Naruto. Yes, thank you for letting me. Yes I will handle it myself." "Alright, have a good day," said Naruto as he got off the phone with the private pie. Naruto then gets a call as he sees it's from the guards. He picks up and says, "Report. We have some people thinking of building a town and an HOA here," said one of the guards. Naruto blinks as he says, "They say wah." "I think it is a homeowners association," said the guard. Naruto says, "Aha, fire a warming shoot and they're still at it, shoot off one of their legs." "Yes sire," said the guard as the calls ends. Naruto hears a sniper shoot, then soon enough, holy shit what the fuck. Naruto nods as a few minutes later, there's another one and followed by, "Ah my leg. My leg come off." Naruto sighs as he says, "Those idiots, they should not have come onto my land," as he gets up as he is going to head out. Half hour later. Naruto is at the bakery. Naruto is looking around as he decides what to get for himself before he gets everyone else's. Naruto picks out some homemade style cookies. "Alright, now onto the others," says Naruto as he brings out a list, and it's very long. The baker says, "Oh Naruto good to see you." Naruto says, "Likewise. Let me see the list please," said the baker. Naruto hands it. The baker reads, "Okay we have all of these and I will get them to the castle." Naruto says, "Thankin' like always, here's your tip." He gives a big tip. "Thank you Naruto." Naruto says, "I tip good business that way I am remembered." He smiles. An hour later. The future Wa idiots are there, then they hear engines turn to see military vehicles, and Naruto is watching this from the window of the second floor. They flee as the gates open and they go into the gate as Naruto heads down. Moments later. Naruto sees Blaze as someone is walking behind him. Blaze is looking serious. "Hey Blaze, I take it went well." "Not well enough, if I knew sooner. Then his head would have been on a pike so fast it would have been rotten by now." Naruto widen his eyes move past him and sees the oldest daughter of Hitomi and she look, worse for wear, Oitomi. Moments later. "Oh out tea that stings," says Hinata as she being taken care of by Unohana who cleaning up the bruises and cuts. "I know it does, that's how you know they're working." Blaze is with Naruto as they're talking about. Naruto asks, Blaze says, "Not for long Naruto." "Good, Bring him to me, said Naruto. Blaze says, no can do. Naruto, his mother is of the Phoenixkage clan. This is my problem, I have to punish him. I am sorry Naruto. Naruto says, very well, I understand, just stomp him, one for me. His balls are destroyed. Said Blaze, I said his, not his balls. Blaze says, Naruto, it won't happen my wife. Destroy his manhood, but I will see what I can do. With that they went on with their day. Naruto is staying away from Hinata for now. Naruto sighs and then Muragen walks up to him as she asks, are you alright, Naruto? Yeah, but what about you Mira? And Muragen giggles. Naruto smiles. Muragen says, I've been good, just thinking about news and stuff. Naruto nods, also I hope you are pregnant. My dear. Muragen blushes as she wants to be a mother. Time skip couple days later. Muragen and Unohana are looking at the pregnancy tests and they are positive, and everyone just cheered as they were happy for them. As for Naruto, well, he went to see his mother. Naruto is enjoying the ride over as he is thinking, well, I hope I am able to talk to mom. As he knows how insanely busy Kushina is lately, they arrive at the building and Naruto heads inside with Ryusa as he heads inside. At Kushina's office, Kushina is enjoying herself a well-earned break with coffee and cookies. Then there is a knock on the door. Oh, come in, said Kushina. Naruto and Ryusa walk in. Oh Naruto. It's been a while, said Kushina. Naruto says, I know, given I know how busy you are, he smiles. Kushina nods, true, all of your ladies need you. As Naruto says, I know, and just now, I got a call that there's more grandkids are on their way. Who? Asked Kushina and Naruto said, Unohana and Muragen. They will move up soon. Then. Kushina let out a joyful squeak. Naruto then checked his hearing. That was loud, said Naruto as he checked if he could hear or not. Kushina says, sorry. She sweat drops. Naruto says, it's fine, okay I can hear, you're just excited, mom. Kushina nods, then they hear barking and Sway runs up to Naruto. Hey Sway. How's my favorite little guy doing? He pats the dog. Sway barks as he enjoys the pats and rubs. So tell me mom, what is new with you? Asked Naruto. Kushina says, oh nothing much, just working, and she blush. Naruto nods, yeah, that part one don't need to know. Sure he loves his mom but he doesn't need to know every detail. More so, her life. So did you hear an HOA or some idiots wanted to build homes on the property? Said Naruto. Kushina says, that shouldn't be happening at all. After all I did buy the whole thing, both the lands for the castle and beyond. So you're saying they're doing this, illegally, with likely fake paperwork that would claim someone else owns them, said Naruto. Kushina says, more so since I have the demon and the fisherman knows about this. Well I gave them permission to fish there. Said Naruto, I know, anyway, let me find the deed and show it to the mayor and tell him of what's going on. Said Kushina. Naruto sighs, do I need to? Yes. Said Kushina, she thinks on it, as much it pains you, you will have to go see, Mayor Jiraiya. Naruto groans at that as he says, okay. I get it. I won't like it. No one says you have to do, just do what you need to do and pray for the best, said Kushina as Ryusa, should I cover up? Oh I don't plan to bring you Ryusa, no offense but I am not letting him stare at you. I plan to bring some guards with me, said Naruto. Ryusa nods, that's understandable. Naruto said, besides I protect my ladies, even if you are my maid you are still mine. Ryusa smiles. Time skip. Naruto's vehicle pulls up to City Hall as he sees some people that day heading into the City Hall as Naruto is holding the deed that took Kushina a while to find and get. Naruto and the guards head into the hall to speak with the mayor. Naruto goes up to the front desk. I am here to speak with the mayor, with his guards behind him. The woman at the desk, very well, name please. She asks, Naruto Uzumaki. The woman stops and looks at Naruto Uzumaki. She asks. Naruto says, yes, she blushes as she says, I will be right back. She heads out. Naruto is confused. Moments lure. Naruto my boy. Said a tall man with long spiky white hair as he said, it's about time you visit me. As he smiles. So what was that about? Naruto asks. The man, named Jiraiya says, oh that's cause I set up a thing when you ever come here, all meetings I would have would be push or cancel. Well, that's good to know that I stand above your priorities. So I'm here for a reason, said Naruto. Jiraiya says, of course to my office. I'm sure it's important. Go finally have you visit me. As he has his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Later at Mayor's office, Jiraiya as he read the deed as well had heard about Wa, so they're trying to build housing on your land and you think they might have paperwork of false claims of them building. Yes, I have heard Wa stories that they might turn my home into their common areas. I am sorry, but I own from where you turn on the road to the beach. I don't want them on my land, they might try and take over, said Naruto. Jiraiya, funny enough, I did meet a woman from Wa yesterday. Oh boy, that is not good. She has no claim to my property. If I have to, I will make calls as I like my privacy and I don't need HOAs near my home, said Naruto, and that's where you were right, so I will a couple of calls and meanwhile, go have with them. You don't mean? Naruto asks and Jiraiya says, it's the least I could do, besides, they're criminals, what are they going to do? Sue you. Against the team of lawyers I have on standby. You have a point, said Naruto. Jiraiya nods to that and with that, their meeting is done. At the castle. Geez, can't believe they're digging just outside of the gates, said one of Naruto's women as they watched this. Then they all heard the rumbling of military vehicles. Oh Naruto, bring in the big boys, said Stussy, as the others watched. As the members of the HOA come up with what their guess is the leader of this, hey, what's going here? Why are there military vehicles here? Said the head of Wa, a woman that just screams. Karen, the vehicles park and out come heavily armed soldiers and Uzumaki guards, drop the shovels. They shout while aiming at them and everyone does so. The woman, what's going on? We have paperwork. We can do tea. Then she is quieted as she meets with the weapon at her face. This is private property. All of this land belongs to Lord Naruto Uzumaki. It goes from the road all the way to the beach including the forests, said the soldier as the woman, and no, that's not true, Jay, just let me. Oh no need, we got the confirmation by the mayor himself, said another as everyone turned to see Naruto who was walking up to them. Naruto looks at them and scowls. Now I have to call Pamela to come and fix this. As he sighs as he says, take them away, as I need to figure this crap out. They are getting arrested as all but one ain't putting up a fight as the one is acting like a feral animal. As she shouts, no, this is our land. The deed that was created first says otherwise, said Naruto as he looks at the equipment. As the woman, do you have any clue who I am? I'm a powerful woman. One you crow, she is thrown into the truck and slams the doors on her. Yes, see ya never, said Naruto, and with this, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed the complete journey of Naruto as the chosen king of desire, please like, share, and subscribe.